Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. And we normally do it live every weekday at 12:30 p.m. on Chatmosa, but this is a special time, so thank you all for being here at this late hour for us to have our daytime tea at night. Well, I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Wednesday, January 14th. So with me on the mic, we have a party up in here, honey. I have some fabulous co-hosts. My Icy Chili, my gorgeous Moon, my favorite Taurus, and BB. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, indeed. And want to give you all a count. So we just have a few more days of our hot tea cold cash giveaway. For the giveaways, terms and conditions, head over to auntiederek.com/hot tea cold cash. Again, that is auntiederek.com/hot tea cold cash. So after this week, a lucky winner will win $100 from this show. How you gain interest into the giveaway. So first, subscribe to a bitch. And we actually made it really easy for you to subscribe to me during the live shows. But if you don't come to the live show, just head to auntiederek.com and hit the big green subscribe button at the top left. You get another entry by RSVPing to every upcoming live show. Get another entry by attending that live show and staying in its entirety. And gain another entry by sharing my show to your social media and using the hashtag Auntie Derek. So get those entries in, baby. It's money out there. Let's get it. You know what else is out there, honey? A whole bunch of tea because these celebrities be wilding. So I think we should just go ahead and jump right into the tea, honey.
Tea time.
Yes. To my surprise, there's actually no Diddy updates.
Woo! Jesus. Thank you, love.
But we about to talk about y'all favorite crackhead colorist, Chris Brown.
Oh.
Oh, well, y'all should see here where I just share by way of all hip hop. Chris Brown's $500 million history of violence lawsuit tossed out by the judge, honey. The judge said, get that shit out of here, honey. Just tossed it, honey. Get it out of here. Well, a judge has dismissed Chris Brown's $500 million defamation lawsuit against Warner Brothers Discovery and Investigation Discovery over their 2024 documentary, Chris Brown, A History of Violence. Judge Colin Lace ruled that the network presented both sides of the story in a balanced manner when covering domestic and sexual abuse allegations against the R&B singer. The court order rejected Brown's claim that the documentary was full of lies and deception. The lawsuit centered on the documentary's focus on a woman who alleged Chris Brown raped her on a yacht owned by Diddy in 2020. Brown insisted these claims were false and pointed to inconsistencies in the woman's account, her violent past, and concealed text messages after she reported the incident to Miami police. But Judge Lace said Investigation Discovery met journalistic standards in its reporting. The court has personally viewed the entire documentary, the judge wrote. The documentary recites most of the inconsistencies plaintiff notes, including the existence of the text messages. The judge added that media defendants presented a fair and true report of statements and the judicial record and proceedings. Chris Brown also claimed the network defamed him by including an interview where culture writer, is that Scotchy Cole? I don't know who that is, I'm sorry, but said the singer had a predisposition for punching women in the face. Judge Lace dismissed this complaint, noting that Chris Brown has admitted to punching the singer Rihanna. Brown filed the lawsuit almost exactly 1 year ago, seeking $5 million in damages from Warner Brothers and Ample Entertainment, the production company behind the show. The dismissal comes as Brown faces separate legal troubles in the United Kingdom. He pled not guilty in June 2025 to charges stemming from an alleged assault at Tate London nightclub in February 2023. Prosecutors accused Brown of attacking music producer Amadou Abe Diallo with a tequila bottle. Chris Brown was arrested in London in May of 2025, which we talked about several times here, and initially denied bail before posting $6.7 million to secure his release. The arrest threatened his Breezy Bowl 20 tour, but he was allowed to continue performing after posting bail. Brown's friend and collaborator, Akinlolu, who performs as Hoodie Baby, was also charged in connection with the 2023 incident and pled not guilty during the same hearing. The singer's trial in the UK assault case is scheduled to begin in October 26th of this year, 2026, with Brown facing charges of attempting to unlawfully cause grievous bodily harm with intent. And see, that actually just woke something up for me because I was under the impression that that shit was all just finished in the UK. But now I now realize now he has to go back and still fight that case of hitting that man in the face with a tequila bottle. Well, that
Child indeed.
that judge said no. I watched the entire documentary, and what I saw, it did a balanced reporting of this.
No lies were told. Is that what the judge said?
Looks that way.
No lies told. And even though we didn't start off with Diddy News, he was still mentioned in that article. Why must we be hunted?
You know, he can't stay out of there. He has to have his name in something, honey.
He everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere bad shit is happening for sure.
Right. But I don't feel sorry for Chris Brown. Like, you have to be, when you're a celebrity, you have to be aware of your actions. And even though time has, of course we've moved on, like, those things still follow you, and you still done things after that to show that you haven't changed much as a person. So you want this thing to be dismissed, and they're like, they did journalistic integrity. So you got to live with your actions. Here are the consequences. This will probably follow you for the rest of your life. Sorry.
And I think, like, in order for him to say that he was defamed or to try to prove defamation, wouldn't he have to have lost some kind of money in some way? And from what I understand, he is still one of the highest paid performers out here.
Which I have questions and concerns about that, but
baby, it's just some motherfucker. Honey, they have proven they will not let his ass go. Even some of my own family, baby, went overseas to see his ass. I was gagged, but hey, I can't tell nobody how to spend their money.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, when you like somebody, I guess you do things like that. But I'm just shocked that so many people, Chris Brown, what? Like, you see, you look at some math and you're just like, this math just don't look right. Like, when you paying a bill and you just like, this don't look right. That just don't look right to me. Like, what does he do? But I also have never been to a Chris Brown concert. I've never seen him perform. I mean, I listen to the music. It's great on the iPod, but, congratulations, happy birthday.
So we have a comment saying, I think he did lose money. Wasn't he supposed to do a concert and they arrested him? Or am I telling lies on Tea Time? It's supposed. I think he was supposed to have, or because I remember, baby, we done talked about it so much. I think if I remember correctly, what happened, he was arrested. He was supposed to have, because he was arrested, he was supposed to have canceled a concert overseas where, Germany or some shit, but he still ended up performing. So I didn't care enough to really look into the details. So yeah, but at the end of the day, he's still one of the highest paid performers that's out here. So yeah, the UK. Mm-hmm. Well, honey, speaking of violent light skins, honey, Javante Tank Davis, girl, they looking for him. They are looking for him, honey. And I have this TMZ article here. You all should see where it says Javante Davis wanted by police over alleged domestic violence incident. Girl. Well, Javante Tank Davis is a wanted man. Officials with the Miami Gardens Police Department announced they are searching for the boxer in connection with an alleged domestic violence incident that occurred in October of 2025. A press conference was held on Wednesday afternoon, with police saying they are working with U.S. Marshals to bring the undefeated boxer in on 3 charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. Cops say the incident occurred at a gentleman's club in the city. The woman, who cops did not identify, reported the altercation 2 days later on October 29th. The woman, who worked at the establishment, alleged Javante approached her, grabbed her by the back of the head, pulling her by the hair with one hand and by her throat with another. She claimed he then forcefully escorted her down the stairway and to the parking garage, all while he maintained a grip on the back of her head. Once they reached the parking area, the woman claimed Davis released her, and she then ran towards her coworkers for safety. Officials stated the lead detective obtained and reviewed video footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statements. Fast forward to Wednesday, when authorities obtained an arrest warrant for the 3-division champ. It's not the first time we're hearing about this. On Halloween, Davis was sued by the woman in connection, with the same altercation. In court documents, she said the two had an intimate relationship over the last 5 months, but it was far from smooth. She told police they ended things about a month before the October assault. She also blocked all forms of communication with the 31-year-old. Davis was set to box Jake Paul in November 2025 in a highly anticipated bout, but after these allegations came to light, Paul and Most Dire Promotions scrapped the fight. Tank has not commented about the accusations. Oh my God, we have a comment saying that is a hard 31. Violent and light skinned, huh?
I thought that was a typo.
No.
These athletes be out of control.
I don't understand it. Like, what? You in broad daylight, or wherever you in public at least, grab her by her hair, snatching her outside. Like, what?
Why?
Are we okay? Is everybody okay at home?
No. They're not okay.
This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it's a light skin thing. Not. I don't know.
I don't think it's that.
We're not saying that it is not that either. You know, it could be and it could not be. I'm saying, we don't have any signs.
No allegations. There's 2 back-to-back stories of people who look like twins.
And look, we have a comment. Okay, not too heavy on the light skins. Y'all know I love y'all. My whole mama side of the family light skin. But you know, I do.
Little chihuahuas. They just always at you. Like, go calm down, honey. And what was that on Real Housewives? Why don't you have a piece of bread and you'll calm down a little bit?
Oh, you're disgusting, Kim.
How dare you beast.
Beast. Oh my God. Baby, that scene gets me every time with Kyle running her. Was it Kyle that ran her ass up out of there?
Yes, ran out the damn restaurant, child.
Well, it's funny that you brought up Bravo Housewives, because we're going to talk about like the queen of the Bravo Housewives, which happens to be Nene Leakes, honey.
Woo, woo, woo,
Baby, they are having hell, in air conditioning in hell and ice water, because honey, I never thought I would see this happen. But you see where it says here, by way of TMZ, Nene Leakes returned to Bravo years after Real Housewives of Atlanta exit. So, Nene Leakes is heading back to Bravo years after her exit, TMZ has learned. Production sources tell TMZ the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum will appear on Bravo's newly announced working title series, The Real Housewives Ultimate Road Trip, which Andy Cohen announced during BravoCon. While the series was announced, no cast members were named. Our sources say Nene, who departed Real Housewives of Atlanta after season 12 in 2020, will not be a full-time cast member, but will have a notable presence when the show makes its way to Atlanta. We're told she will appear only during the Atlanta leg of the trip. Our sources say the series will also feature numerous cameos from housewives across multiple franchises, with different women appearing in various roles in each city along the girls' trip. The new series is the latest evolution of Ultimate Girls Trip, following fan favorite housewives from across the franchise as they travel through some of the most iconic locations in Real Housewives history while celebrating 20 years of the franchise. Nene's return is notable given her previous legal battle with the network. As we reported, she filed a federal lawsuit in April of 2022 against Bravo, NBC Universal, the production companies, alleging a racist and hostile work environment. The lawsuit was dropped in August of 2022, with both sides agreeing to resolve the dispute through arbitration. We've reached out to reps for Nene and Bravo. So far, no word back. All right now. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I am, for one, am just so glad that Bravo decided to give her back the keys to the house that she built, because I can't think of another iconic reality star that's had such a presence, both when they were on the show and when they were off the show, of any of the Housewife franchise. Nene Leakes is the one. So I can already see it now. She's gonna be on the episode when they're in Atlanta, and then it's gonna be like the highest rated episode in Bravo history, and then oh my God, she's gonna come back to Atlanta for the next season. Oh, what a shocker! Like it's definitely giving that. So I, for one, I don't get too excited about many things in terms of entertainment and entertainers and stuff, but this got me excited. I am so happy to see that she's back.
Yeah, I
Why do
never
you
thought
think
that would
she's
happen.
back though? What's the reason? It's because that franchise is dying. They
Well, it's
trying to
been dead for
revive
I
it.
3
think
years.
it's a mutual benefit for NBC and Nene. To your point, Chill, Housewives, especially Atlanta, they used to be the top franchise. I don't even think they're top three anymore. I think it's Salt Lake City, Potomac, and Beverly Hills. Um, so yes, I think it's a mutual benefit to see, okay, what's the true interest of Nene Leakes being back on Bravo in whatever capacity? And also to note, she was supposed to be back with NBC for this upcoming season of Traitors, or was it last season? It was one of those seasons she had to turn it down because her son had health issues. So
Yep,
it's been talks about her rejoining the network. I'm excited for it because you don't think about Atlanta without Nene Leakes. Whether you love her
You
or you
know,
hate her,
right?
she made that franchise.
She did. She built it.
She built it brick by brick. And, at some point it did become, hey, we are an ensemble cast, but it was her and what she contributed to that cast that put them in the limelight. So I hope her and Andy resolve their issues. I won't go there with what I have to say about Andrew. But I think that Nene sometimes runs her mouth and she should be careful about how she says certain things. I understood where she was coming from when she did the lawsuit, but it was the way she put certain things out there. It was like, nobody's going to have your back in that. Um, but she looks good. I don't know about this picture that we used on the Jumbotron that Bravo
girl,
had on
I'm
this
like, why did
article.
they? This is a horrible picture. TMZ playing in his face. That is not right. That is horrible.
But I'm excited for this.
Me too.
So I wonder what that show is going to look like and who they're going to have as the traveling cast. But to come to Atlanta I would love to see Nene, Sheree, Portia, Phaedra, like them visit those four. And I know some of y'all like that escape lady, but
I like her a lot.
That escape
Throw
lady.
it, Taurus.
I'm sorry, BB, but please no more Sheree. I can't take September, spring, summer anymore on the franchise. She's like a substitute when they can't get somebody they actually want. They call Sheree, here she come again. Like at
wait,
a
did I
certain
say
point,
Sheree?
yes, he did.
Okay, I retracted. I meant Nene, Cynthia, Portia, Phaedra.
Oh, thank you. I almost had a heart
I
attack.
am not a Sheree fan at all. She's just like Lazarus. Like, girl, stay dead. We tired of you.
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
girl.
Like
We don't care.
Sheree has brought nothing to the show, in my opinion, since she. So I had to think about her return. So she returned in season 7. Then she was full time season 8 and brought nothing. Then she was full time, I think season 9 and brought nothing. And then she left. Okay, like girl, we tired now.
Well, I guess the idea I'm getting is that y'all don't really like Sheree. And we have a comment in the chat saying she is dead, like her businesses. Wow. Wow.
I mean, what businesses does Sheree have out there? She by Sheree.
Oh my God.
And she had the nerve to say that she wouldn't come back because they wouldn't pay her more money. Like, she should be glad to be invited back at all at this point because if you're so disposable, I don't think you have a dog in the fight. You just say thank you, take the check, and keep it moving.
I I think Andy keeps her around. He likes her, and she's an OG. And the fact that the relationship with Nene was severed, he kind of wanted to keep her. But at this point, I won't say I dislike Sheree as a person, but I think her on the show, like, you contribute nothing. Like, girl, every time she's on the screen, you're like, go ahead, yay, give us nothing.
Pretty much.
I think they should put Nene on the show. Period, not just on this travel crap, whatever they're doing. She should come back to the show full time.
And
I
you
think.
know what, I agree with that. My
Hmm.
concern is I don't know how Nene would fit in with this newer cast of women. Like, I know she knows Shamia, and she's done an interview with Kelly, but I don't know how her and Drew. We know her and Phaedra and Cynthia will be great, and Portia, but I just don't know if the current cast will be a great fit for her. I think they would have to recast.
Because they're all, what, much younger than her?
I don't know about them, but they're boring compared to, if you go back to the best cast of RHOA, which was season 6, that's the golden cast. Those girls do not compete. Like, the highest rating season of any housewife shows ever was RHOA season 6. So those girls, they can't compete. And I fear that Nene wouldn't, like, they would bow too much to Nene, and Nene needs a challenge. Like, I didn't like Claudia, but I like the fact that Claudia was like, I ain't the one, Nene. And Puerto Rico was legendary. Sorry, I'm a housewives junkie. Let me shut up. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
This is pie in the sky. But if we're talking about OGs who need to come back, I need another dose of one Kenya Moore hair care. I need her back on TV.
Okay, at this point, Derek, next segment.
I love Kenya.
I'm sorry, Kenya Summer Moore, in my opinion, is gutter snipe trash. She is the
Ooh.
worst thing. She was great for the franchise because she gave you a lot of commotion, but as a person, doo doo water.
Oh my God.
Doodle
Not
water, my
Sweetwater.
God.
If I do my Mount Rushmore of most hated housewives, she is definitely there. She may be by herself with Lisa Rinna.
Damn, Lisa too?
Oh, I hate Lisa Rinna. Her and that chicken haircut.
From
Them good lips.
1995.
Kenya was trash from her first season right on down to her last one.
I was like, that first season was iconic. But that fight between her and the very first fight between her and Portia, where she was tell Portia, I ain't even want to come to your whack event. It was like, really? It's for children. That they had these. But speaking of the next story, because it's actually funny because you saw how this Nene's story mentioned that her and Bravo and NBC Universal, they kind of mediated things privately in court. Well, it looks like, honey, that's what this Taurus man, Busta Rhymes, is trying to do with that assistant or ex-lover, allegedly, that he got, honey. They want to mediate things in private, honey. And y'all see, I just shared here by way of All Hip Hop, which is an exclusive. Busta Rhymes, former assistant, to face off again in mediation. Mm-mm. Well, Busta Rhymes and his ex-assistant Dashiell Gables are pressing pause on their legal clash and heading into private mediation to try and settle a lawsuit that accuses the hip hop icon of assault and wage violations, which include his countersuit for defamation. Attorneys for both parties submitted a joint letter to a Brooklyn federal judge seeking a temporary halt while they attempt to hash out the matter outside of court. They have already exchanged initial documents and now request 60 to 90 days to focus on settlement negotiations. The lawsuit, originally filed in August of 2025, stemmed from Gable's claims that he endured abusive treatment while working as Busta Rhymes' personal assistant for 6 months beginning in July of 2024. Gables alleged he worked 15 to 18-hour shifts, including while touring, for a flat rate of $200 per day with no overtime pay. The complaint accuses Rhymes and his company, Starbuzz LLC, of assault, battery, wage and hour violations, and emotional distress. Gables claims the rapper berated employees, used a homophobic slur, mocked his hearing impairment, and sent him on trivial errands like cigar runs. The centerpiece of the case is a January 10th, 2025 incident at a Brooklyn high-rise. Gable says Busta Rhymes became enraged over delayed catering delivery. He alleges the rapper punched him in the face multiple times, sending him to the hospital with visible injuries. He says he never returned to work and was later blacklisted from the music industry. Busta Rhymes denied all allegations and filed a defamation counterclaim in October, calling the lawsuit a shakedown attempt by a disgruntled former employee. According to the counterclaim, Gables knew the statements were false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth, and the accusations led to the loss of at least 2 endorsement deals. If mediation fails, the attorneys agreed to provide a status update within 3 business days, and the fight will continue. In court, that is. Or in the bedroom.
You are such a mess.
Listen, can y'all imagine how this conversation went, honey? Because look, no offense to my favorite my favorite tourists. When I'm about to slander these tourist men, I'm not talking about you, honey. But I don't know if y'all ever dealt with one. But honey, once they know some shit about to, maybe get serious for them, they try to do everything. They try to be the nicest person that they can be.
Yeah, you
And
don't want public, public at all.
Listen, I could just imagine, baby, don't do this to me. You know I love you. Let me try. You know I love you. Don't do this to me. You know I was just going through some shit.
Why you sound like him? Goodbye.
Thank you. Go ahead, favorite tourists who I wasn't talking about when I was talking about them other violent tourist men.
Yeah, that's not me at all. Because, you know what? Do it twice, actually, motherfucker. You want to go toe to toe? Let's do it. God damn it. But yeah, tourist men are something else. Some of them are.
Oh yes, honey. We have a comment. Oh, hey, boo. And we have a comment saying, Busta Rhymes is too old to be behaving like this. I wholeheartedly agree, honey. But honey, look, if you want to make it right in that mediation, honey, you better pull up that gut and throw your best dingling, honey, to Mr. Gables. I mean, because I'm getting the impression that Busta is the top, and Dasher may be the bottom. I don't know, or they might be doing that. Let me get out of their bedroom. Allegedly.
Child, you never know. But can we talk about this photo of him?
Sure. What do we have to say about this photo? Ooh, now we have
was he doing on stage that promotes all of that?
There was a signal, honey. Gables, when I get you home, bitch, I'll put you through the mattress. Allegedly.
Oh, look at the comments.
Yeah, well, Busta Jamaican still being on the DL is very likely. I'm just saying, the fact that he felt comfortable enough to punch that man in the face, because this is where all this started from. The fact that he at his apartment complex, by the way, because the story that we heard was that Dasher was on his phone, and Busta got tired of him ignoring him, and his attention was in that phone. So he was like, "I'm your man. You don't pay attention to your phone. You pay attention to me." Punch, and now he went to the emergency room, and now Busta turned himself in, and then got charged for 3rd-degree assault. Crazy.
You really thought about this, haven't you?
But that's what I followed the story, because I said, this is crazy. I said,
I don't think the story mentioned anything about him saying, "I'm your man. You pay attention to me."
You're right. I did put that part in. But I mean,
you carefully thought about this, haven't you?
I just want to know who feels comfortable, especially a straight man, like who feels comfortable enough to punch another man in the face like that, unless they fucking. I'm sorry. It just, to me, it don't work like
I'm with you. Now, let's be clear.
that.
That does sound like a disgruntled lover. And those people tend to be very aggressive and very territorial. So you mad at me because I'm probably trying to check on your catering order and you gonna try to hit me because it's late?
hmm
Maybe he realized what he ordered, child, wasn't gonna be very productive for later on for the late night festivities.
Okay, he needed that jerk chicken, honey, to build up his stamina. Why is this jerk chicken late?
Because that guy
Allegedly.
wasn't backing down, so now he wants a private mediation, and we won't know the outcome. I mean, basically, it just screams that you're probably right about what's going on. You know?
Listen, 1 + 1 = 2.
That's what I want to know. Like, how do we get to y'all fighting it out, and then now all of a sudden you want a private mediation?
Mm-hmm. Because they were
Mm-hmm.
fucking in private, so he want to keep everything they do in private. Allegedly, allegedly. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Well, and he does go up from my mother quite a bit, and we know the gays love Janet. So, I mean,
There you go. Let me see the comments to say, and straight men who are frustrated with not being able to be more open are more aggressive. Mm-hmm. And then we have a comment. I'm so shook right there. Never would have imagined. Fred Sanford, this is the bill. You covered, Elizabeth. Yes, honey. You and Buster play for the same team. Allegedly, allegedly. Both of y'all pay for the pictures. Allegedly, allegedly.
Auntie, please.
Oh, well, speaking of pitchers, bitch, honey, one who played one on it, was he a pitcher or a catcher? That Timothy Busfield motherfucker. Oh, nasty, nasty child diddler. Well, you saw that we talked about him being on the run yesterday. So he ended up turning himself in, and he made a video that said that he's denying everything. Of course, baby, they got that ass in that jumpsuit, honey. He in court, and he is being held without bond. And y'all see, I just shared here by way of TMZ. Timothy Busfield appears in court on child sex charges. Will be held without bond. Good. Well, Timothy Busfield just appeared in a New Mexico court for the first time since surrendering on charges of child abuse, and criminal sexual conduct with a minor, criminal sexual contact with a minor, and we've got it all on video. I'm not going to show y'all the video because it's really like a bunch of nothing. But Timothy was shackled in an orange jail jumpsuit for his very brief court appearance. He's being held without bond and has another court hearing later this month. As we reported, the award-winning actor and director was accused of sexually abusing 2 boys who were child actors on The Cleaning Lady while he was directing the show in 2022 in New Mexico. At the time, prosecutors say the child actors were 7 and 8 at the time of the alleged contact, and their parents reported the alleged crimes to the Albuquerque police 2 years later, leading to a criminal investigation. Busfield's civil lawyer, Larry Stein, told TMZ he believes there is a revenge factor at work. He points to the criminal complaint, which essentially says an actress on set claims that the mother of both boys told her she vowed to get revenge after her sons were cut from the final season of the show. Stein says Warner Brothers initiated an independent investigation using an outside law firm, and the investigator interviewed approximately a dozen people and concluded the evidence did not support the allegations. Busfield has made clear he will confront these lies, adding, "I did not do anything to those little boys." Today's appearance comes in the wake of a fresh accusation revealed in court documents. A man came forward yesterday alleging Busfield kissed the man's 16-year-old daughter and touched her private parts years ago in Sacramento, California. Mm-hmm. I'm reading the comments. Let's see. I didn't realize his wife was Laura from Little House on the Prairie. Mm-hmm. And she deleted that Instagram, honey. Yes, I'm hoping she's not backing him. I think the deleting of the Instagram maybe was, I don't know, kind of, New Mexico always got some shit going on. And just saw that staffer witnessed him kiss the kid on set. Oh, a staffer witnessed it. Oh, oh. Mm, Go ahead, BB.
You know what disturbs me in these type of allegations, and I'm not a parent, but this happened allegedly while you were present, and you waited 2 years to say something. That disturbs me because what you mean to tell me you witnessed this man or your children told you something about being inappropriately groped or whatever, and now we 2 years later and this is happening? Now, not to put anything that I'm saying I believe he's innocent, because I believe he's 100% guilty. But I just put myself in the shoes of a parent. What do you do in these cases? That is so wild to me. And it takes me back to the R. Kelly documentary when, and I'm going to say allegedly, when Sparker talked about, I mean, pretty much giving up her, I think it was her niece or something, to R. Kelly. All because you was that afraid of him and you wanted the fame. So you, and I, again, allegedly, these are my words, you sacrifice your family member for it. That, and it just disturbs me when I hear these type of stories. And again, not victim blaming, because again, you don't know what people go through when you deal with that type of trauma. Should I say something? This is a powerful white man. He can end their careers. But it just gives me brain fog when I hear these type of stories.
Yeah, you might be onto something. Now, when I was reading the story, I didn't get how I took it is that like and I could be wrong. Maybe I interpreted it wrong, but the parents didn't find out about it until 2 years later. Maybe because the child spoke up or something. I don't know, but I don't know. But go ahead, Chili.
I think you touched on it, BB, when you said they want the fame. If they did know about it and said something, it may have sabotaged their child's chances of, you know, whatever fame they were seeking, or their career trajectory, could have been halted at that point. And you mentioned how parents offer their children up to R. Kelly. The same thing. Their child had dreams of being, a star, and with all the rumors that surrounded him, they still let their children be around this man. So I think that's a very powerful factor, and the fact that he touched them. He didn't actually sexually like have intercourse with them, but um, yeah, sometimes you might let those things go. Me as a parent, I mean, when it comes to your child's dreams, it's a very fine line that you walk, and that can cloud your judgment, I think, at times on reporting stuff like this. So I think he did it too, and there's witnesses to it, and it happened. It happens so much. I mean, this isn't the first story of a child actor being assaulted or abused or touched, or and much more, on these shows that they're on. So yeah, it's kind of weird.
No, I agree.
And I thank you, Chili, for that insight. And I was laughing at a video clip with Hammy today, going back to, I can't think of what the clip. Oh, it was Monique when she was talking to Steve Harvey, and she was telling him, you pretty much told people that, hey, my sister's burned too many bridges. There's something I could do for her now. And he was telling her, and I'm bringing this up to highlight the point of, we choose money over integrity. And I don't know if you remember that interview where Steve Harvey was telling Monique, listen,
Very well.
I agree with, you didn't do anything wrong, but it was the way you went about it. You have to understand that And pretty much his words were, we have to choose money and the way we go about things over our integrity. Although you were 100% right in what you did, you should have gone about it a different way because you don't want people to look at you differently. And it breaks my heart that when you hear these type of stories, these parents are choosing to exploit that. Like, to me, you're exploiting your child. And I think that they should be held responsible for some of this. And I know that that may be very controversial. I'm sorry, but if you are my legal guardian and you offer me up to the monster, where are you being held culpable at? And it just drives me insane. I just couldn't imagine me having a child and saying, because you want to be a star, I now have to offer you up to these monsters to eat you. And then because of whatever happened, apparently he's not on the show anymore. Now my child has to relive this if it truly happened. Because now I want revenge. It angers me in so many ways. I'm sorry, Will Wagoner.
Oh no, I totally understand, BB, and I stand in agreement with you and you as well, BB. I also wanted to add an additional layer. I don't think we touched on. If we did, I apologize. We could also, well, we've also seen in these instances with children who operate in the entertainment business, they are often the primary or sole breadwinner for their entire family. You know, that adds another layer of complexity about the situation as to why they waited for 2 years, because we've talked about in the show and what we've also been subjected to in terms of these stories and in TMZ or whatnot, where the they are beholden to these very powerful people, and they have to make sure in a way they have to maintain a level of safety, because not only could it be a matter of that child losing their career, it's a matter of that child and or that family losing their entire lives, literally. You know, so it's they don't call it Hollyweird for nothing. You know, they just operate in a completely absurd and odd way from the rest of society, and we've seen that. It's very odd how it continues to happen.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. You all made some good points, and it's Hollywood, and now apparently Spain. And you see, we have a comment: money versus integrity, and we kind of learning, and especially like COVID has taught us a lot that a lot of people do move around with no integrity. Like people will, knowing they have COVID, will still go into a crowded place unmasked and stuff. Like we know people don't. Anywho, but like and I think this is going into Spain as well, because did y'all hear about Julio Iglesias? Now, I don't know who like I know the name, but if you ask me to like name one of his songs, this is one of those songs that I know the lyrics I wouldn't know, Chili. So, but y'all see I just shared here by way of TMZ, singer Julio Iglesias under investigation in Spain for alleged sexual assault. Oh, Balimos. Oh, that's him. Okay. Oh, okay. I know that song.
Oh wait, I got it wrong, Auntie. That's Enrique. My bad.
No,
Oh,
Julio
Sorry.
Iglesias is like begin the beginning. So he's a very legendary singer, but Lord have mercy.
oh, okay. Thank you. I'll look him up. Well, maybe not after this, but it says superstar singer Julio Iglesias is in the crosshairs of prosecutors in Spain, where he's under investigation where he's under investigation after two former female employees accused him of sexual assault. The Spanish High Court prosecutor's office announced the probe Tuesday after Univision and Spanish media outlet El Diario.es published the woman's allegations. Julio's accusers reportedly claimed they suffered sexual assault and workplace harassment while working for him in 2021 at his homes in the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas, alleging Julio pressured them into sexual encounters and abused them physically and verbally. Prosecutors in Spain say a claim was filed last week against Julio, who is a national treasure in the European nation. He sold over 300 million records in his career. One of Julio's accusers reportedly claimed he would digitally penetrate her anus and vagina without her consent and told the outlets he used me almost every night. I felt like an object, like a slave. We've reached out to Julio's camp. So far, no word back. Ooh, child. Just men, honey. Men not being able to keep them hands to themselves, honey. See, Julio, Enrique Zeddy was on Golden Girls. He sang a lot of covers. Ah, okay, okay. Well, he's nasty, allegedly. Mm-hmm.
So many
Go.
of them are.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
And ain't no telling how many times he's actually done this too. This is only the first person that I guess I've heard of that's brought these allegations against him, considering how popular he is in Europe. I'm pretty sure this is not the first time. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are other accusers of this type of assault from him as well.
Mm.
And you're 80 something years old. You mean to tell me so this happened 3 years ago. Maybe he was 70 something or whatever. You're 80 something years old that you're forcing yourself on people who are working for you?
Yes, ex Smokey Robinson, allegedly.
Now, wait a minute, because when we said something about him, you was all gung-ho for it. He would have been outside. I would have been.
I said I would have folded, and I was. If he would have came
Okay.
out there in nothing but some red underwear, holding his erect penis and trying to signal me to go into the other room, yes, I would have went into that room with. It's fucking Smokey Robinson. That doesn't mean his ass ain't a predator.
All that polyester and implants, do better. But I'm not saying, when you get older, you don't have these desires, but okay, at that same token, you're Smokey Robinson, you're Julio Iglesias. Like, you got the money, go pay somebody. Don't force yourself on and be a sexual predator to people. That's just disgusting. And I'm still like, keep your Viagra penis to the people who actually want it.
Right, like Auntie Derek.
Oh, honey. We here at the Auntie Derek Daytime Tea really want our host and friend to be better. So we're here to support him. But you hear that? You got Viagra penis. He's willing to accept. You can offer it to him on a gravy bowl.
Thank you. I got to start saying Viagra penis now because I can't say the AARP thing anymore ever since I've learned that they now include 18-year-olds in that motherfucker, and I'm just not that kind of bitch.
Wait, they do?
Yes, you can get an AARP membership, honey, at 18 now. I was gagged.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Honey, you done blew my wig back.
Go ahead, baby Taurus.
Well, BB, Auntie here has said, and I quote, "I don't want bail." So, I mean, it is what it is. Just got to let him be.
It's just so concerning, Will. I can't. I looked into it and I can't.
I've researched it and I can't.
Lexi's a mess.
I know that's right, Lou. He said Auntie would have gone nuts for Prince. I know, I probably would have, but he wouldn't have gone nuts for me. But that man was a homophobe, allegedly. And it says I am 46 and I have AARP memberships, discounted. I know that's right. Well, unfortunately, yeah, because they say like you have to be of a certain age to get the discounts. It's just the idea of the 18-year-olds being able to get the membership. I don't like, because to me they used to represent like, age, sophistication, wisdom. Now everybody can get one. Now you can't. They used to just be a qualifier, to get with me. Now, no, I need a little bit more now. Now we got to have Viagra penis now because AARP want to be so inclusive. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Well, Auntie, you need to find something else because we got men's disease our age or younger that have issues with their member as well. So you're going to have to find something else.
That's because they drink all that lean.
At this point, it's just going to be a toss-up. We say Viagra penis, but to Will's point, honey, the people got ED.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't talking about education, okay?
Like early 30s. It's wild, and it's something that's kind of common nowadays. I'm not sure if it's in the diet or what have you. But I've noticed, I've researched this a little bit recently. Just I don't know why. Don't ask why. But it's like understanding like people in their 20s and early 30s are having issues with getting it up. Well, yeah, with getting it up, and it was very wild. Thank you, bottomless emotional support, Todd. The comment was like diet, mental, mind, sex practices. Yeah, that all makes sense.
Hmm. And then I remember one time first of all, y'all know I don't like to use Instagram like that anyway, but I was sitting over there scrolling and one of the first things I see is one of them hymns, advertising by Average. I'm like, hey, do you need to please your lady? I'm like, fuck no, because I don't have a lady. Let's start there. Why am I saying first of all, I'm not putting my member in anyone. I don't do that. We are on the bottom bunk, honey. So I was just really offended that my Instagram algorithm thought that I would want to see that shit. But okay.
Well, the world gives a collective sigh of relief.
Look, we have a comment. Auntie is interest only. You better say that. You better wake it up. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
And you notice a lot of people who are in those hymns advertisements are they look like they could be our age or younger.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
And I would just like to revisit a comment that says the way everything is overly sexual these days. Come on, let's talk about it. You can't turn around without some being about sex, 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 sex. And I ain't talking about male, female. I'm sick of it. Get another hobby.
Everybody horny.
Find you something else to do, honey. Girl, cut on the PlayStation. Go outside.
They is
Do something
horny,
in your
honey.
yard. Like, everything ain't got to be about... That's why you got people like Julio Iglesias, who 85 years old, who should be playing with his great-grandkids out here throwing his little pee-pee on people. Allegedly.
Have y'all seen like recently, when it comes to like Facebook and stuff, there's like I've seen a lot of porn. Cause you notice how they'll like put something like a screen
Girl.
grab and then you'll look in the comments and it's like a video of porn. I'm like, and it's a huge influx of that lately. I'm like, y'all is horny. Why is everybody so horny?
The same thing with TikTok. I scroll TikTok and I'm like, wait a minute, did I just see what I thought I saw?
Oh,
And
well,
yeah, it's exactly what I thought I saw. Then on Facebook, you have people that try to throw you into these groups, or you'll see a group that's talking about, hey, it's really big. Would you like to see it? I'm like, what? What?
okay, now I didn't see it on TikTok. I ain't seen no dingling on TikTok yet. Maybe I should.
Oh, baby. You never heard of twerking?
No, I have not.
Baby, they'll post something and they'll have like a shadow of their member, like doing a little twerk, or they'll just be straight up. I'm talking about member is just hard on, honey. And TikTok lets it fly. And I'm like, what?
Okay, so after we finish recording, I will be going to TikTok and search twerking. Thank you so much, BB. Oh, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I don't want to go too deep into this, so I'll keep it surface level. We also have to get, well, something I've noticed is like generations, like millennials on down. There is a lack of understanding the difference between wanting to be desired and connection. And since we're on these digital devices the majority of the time, and as we've noticed, like folks don't kind of communicate like they used to before the invention of social media and having access to people 24/7 via these devices that we're on. So there's something at play there as well that's to be considered. And a lot of these the companies like Hims and then what you're talking about as well, BB, they're all playing into that because they know that's what people are actually seeking is to be desired, not necessarily to connect.
That is so real. So, so real. And, as a virgin, and I've never done these things,
Ah!
I've seen, Auntie, I've never done these things. It is very, it's access. Like, I remember getting on Twitter when I first joined Twitter, honey. I was so naive. And then, honey, I discovered Twitter after dark. And I was like, what are you girls doing?
Twitter
But to
After
your
Dark,
point,
Wang
people want to
Wednesday. Oh,
be, oh, honey.
those were the
People
days.
remember when, what's his name, B.O.B. started Eggplant Friday?
Amen. I
Woo!
do.
Okay, I'm sorry. Slayanka.
Hey, Slayonka.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say that due to everything being overly sexualized, also too, masturbation was at an all-time high with young kids, and ejaculating at such an early age that by the time they were 16, 17, 18, they have already have ED. So it's just, it takes more for them to get, in a climax state than it used to because of everything being so sexualized. Also, the internet, kind of changed things. It's so accessible with having everything on in our pocket and in our hand. And I just think that sexual assault is also at an all-time high where you have these young kids doing crazy shit. To just, just not having a real idea of what they're doing. And, fuck those kids. I blame the parents in real life because I feel like parents are just letting these kids do whatever. Also, on these video games where they're, getting just things that they're saying. It reminds me of, I don't know who's of age, but it reminds me of like AOL back in the day, when you were in chats and you were 12, 13, 14 years old lying about your age and being in little private rooms with grown ass men.
Mhm.
I just think there's less policing in that section, especially when it comes to the internet. Also all the free sex visuals that you can now see online. It's just super easy. And even, for example, Roblox, doing weird shit where you have two, you know, characters in a bed. Just it's insane. I just feel like there is.
What?
Oh yes, honey,
She's
Roblox.
absolutely right. And the
Yeah.
Sims, they have mods.
And truth be told, when I first got on Sims when it first came out, they were fucking too. You just didn't see it. They were
You didn't
making
see it. It was
noises and
blurred.
moaning and shit.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I just feel like I hope that things get better in that way and not worse, because really we're at a time now where X-rated material will be on regular TV. And it's sad. It's sad to see these young ass kids that by the time they're 25, they can't even get it up.
I don't like. I'm actually gagged by it, but the reason I'm gagged about Roblox. So back, in my time at Microsoft, when I was a trainer, we were actually training teachers on how to incorporate, elementary school teachers on how to incorporate Roblox into their lessons, and to now learn that they have like shit in the beds and stuff that they could
Honey,
possibly.
they fucking. Do you hear
Oh
me?
I
no!
mean, hardcore,
Yes, they
it's
fucking.
crazy. But the thing
Mhm.
is, it's when adults penetrate that world because
Correct.
Roblox itself was innocent. And that's
Correct.
why I like what Slayonka said. Like, it's the parents. The parents
Mhm.
are not policing their children. Like, I remember, like, growing up, especially for those of us who are millennials, our moms police almost, our parents police almost every damn thing that we did.
BB, I
And
could
we,
not close my door.
babe, would take the door off the hinges if you thought you were too grown.
Yes,
Hello.
I
And
was
I
not able to shut my door.
remember my mom bought me Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Now,
Mm.
I lied to her about what the game was about, so she trusted me. And I remember going to the bathroom to use the restroom, and there was a nightclub on there where you can go and get a lap dance. And I left it on there, and she walked in my room while I was in the restroom, and I remember she screamed, and you cut it off now, hand me the PlayStation, you won't get it back. And I'm like, girl, I'm 17. No, 16, 17. But her, because she was like, you
Cartoon
lied
strip
to me. You
edition is
didn't tell
wild.
me it was all of this. And she took my PlayStation. You're right, until she had to regulate herself to say, you know what, you are a 16-year-old boy, you're mature. But the thing was like our parents heavily regulated what we did, and these parents
Mhm.
now, child, these children be looking at, like I said, Roblox, Sims, and the parents just be like, Oh, child, they got to learn somewhere. And I'm just like, baby, learn from me.
Well, you know what's crazy? It's not even they have to learn somewhere, is that the parents aren't even aware that this shit is happening. They give these little kids these devices to be babysat because the parents are out doing whatever, not paying attention, don't want to deal, cooking dinner, working. And mind you, obviously it's to survive too, but also fuck those kids. Like, a lot of people ain't paying attention to these kids. That's why I don't have any. I don't have the time, the patience, or the time or the patience. So I choose not to have kids on purpose. And the world is just a terrible place. But I wanted to go back real quick that I definitely enjoyed the entertainment of Smokey's dick. Thank you.
Look, we have a comment. The many lives of Auntie. Yes, honey. Auntie has lived, honey. And my daughter got mad at me. I didn't let her have a Facebook page till she was 18. Well, good job. That's good parenting, because why does she need to be on there before 18? To me, like, it's just too much. Now, if this was like maybe, cause hell, when you think about it, Facebook, I didn't join it. It was for college students at first. So college students, you had to be at least, you needed a college email to be on there first.
You sure did.
So yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. Shit. Get all them damn under 18, unless they got a college email to provide. Get them all up out of there, because it's just too much. Facebook has really turned into, well, we'll be here all night.
Child.
It's unfortunate because that's our future.
Have y'all ever seen the movie? I know it was quite a few people that has never seen the social what's the movie, The Social Network, when Jesse Eisenberg played Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
That was a movie for your ass, honey. I mean, they got down how baby, they spilled the tea in that movie.
And I'm not gonna lie, that made me hate Justin Timberlake.
Same here. Well, I
That
was
made you
him
hate
before
Justin
me.
Timberlake and not his music?
Well,
That was just a question.
I'm going to give you the real answer. When you sprinkle black magic dust on something like that, I mean, it's kind of hard. But yeah, it's not, I don't really fuck with Justin. I don't really fuck with Justin. There's like a couple of songs cool. He had a little magical dust on him, cool, but I don't really fuck with Justin.
Yeah, in The Social Network, he played the guy who invented Napster, Sean. I forget his last name, but he did a good job in that movie. I'm not a Justin fan myself, but I can give credit where it's due. He did a good job in that movie.
I agree. Made me hate him for sure. Like, fuck him.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Hi, Willer.
I'd be unsure. It's been up with me and Justin Timberlake since the Super Bowl of 2004, and that's all I'm going to say.
Agreed.
Period.
Even mother was like, y'all chill. He done said he's sorry. It's cool now. We like, you know what, mother, we love you, but girl, fuck that.
Nope,
Yeah, I told her to shut up on social media.
No,
Well, I have a question for Willer. They're saying that mother is MAGA. Is that true? Tell me not.
She's not.
Okay,
She's not.
I feel better about it.
There was an interview that happened, I believe, last year before the election, and the interviewer was, of course, trying to get a sound bite. And the thing that folks don't realize is that she don't even live here. She lives in London. She lives in the UK. So naturally, she's going to be more aware of the political dealings of what's going on over there, because it directly affects her, even though she is a worldwide superstar and is from America as well. So naturally, you're not going to know everything about everything. And on top of that, to Sharice's, well, she's not Jehovah's Witness anymore, because when she got married, she transitioned to Islam. Yeah, because
We're going to Islam.
Because of her husband, ex-husband at the time. And so I'm not sure if she's made any additional transitions in terms of spirituality, but that's the last that I know of it. And plus, she's covered up from her neck to her ankle, so I'm pretty sure there's some religious things going on up until, I think, last year she had her cleavage out for the first time in 10 years. Like, oh, okay. But anyway,
wow.
Yeah, but they just wanted to pin that on her. But her brother, Randy Freeloading Ass Jackson, he is MAGA to his fucking core, and we cannot wait to record it. Why not? We chill out. But we are not very pleased with his presence in any capacity when it. There
Right.
you go.
Okay. Thank you, Willer. Hi, Moon. Hi, Chill. I'm trying not to cough.
Well, and I'm glad y'all were having this conversation about, the kids and their safety, because this next story actually talks about that, how Black China actually alleged that the dude that she was with, did y'all know that dude? Because I don't think they were together long. It was the guy that she was with by the name of Twin Hector. Well, she is actually alleging that he done choked her and while the kids were present. So, y'all see I just shared here by way of all hip hop. Black China claims ex choked her while her kids were sleeping nearby. Well, Black China is fighting fire with fire in her legal battle against ex-boyfriend Twin Hector, dropping allegations that paint a completely different picture of their toxic relationship. The reality star filed a countersuit this week, claiming Hector choked and spat on her during a March 2023 incident while her children, King and Dream, were sleeping in their California home. Court documents obtained by U.S. Weekly reveal disturbing details about what China says really happened between the former couple. According to the filing, trouble started when China was preparing to travel out of state and asked Hector to leave her residence. The rapper allegedly refused to go, sparking an argument that quickly turned violent. During this incident, plaintiff became hostile and violent towards defendant, engaging in physical aggression, including choking defendant, spitting on defendant, verbally abusing defendant, and engaging in intimidating conduct, the court document states. China claims her nanny, Jennifer, witnessed the alleged attack, which happened while her 13-year-old son, King, and 9-year-old daughter, Dream, were present in the home. The filing says China reasonably feared for her personal safety and life during the confrontation. The countersuit comes nearly 18 months after Twin Hector first sued China for domestic violence, claiming she attacked him while he slept in September of 2021. The rapper alleged China had violence and anger issues that got worse when she drank alcohol. Hector's attorney, Kirk Edward Shank, fired back at China's new claims, calling them blatantly false allegations designed to deflect attention from her own alleged violence. Aggressors with no defense for their action often try to blame the victim, Shank said in a statement. We believe China has no defense for her vicious attack on Mr. Hector while he slept, causing the brutal injuries depicted in the photograph attached to the complaint. Hector maintains his innocence and plans to pursue his original lawsuit seeking over $10 million in damages. The legal drama represents another chapter in China's complicated romantic history. After her relationship with Hector ended in March of 2023, she moved on with producer Derek Milano, going Instagram official in September of 2023. China and Milano's relationship seemed solid for nearly 2 years, with the couple getting engaged in October 2024. However, their romance ended unexpectedly in July of 2025 when they announced their breakup on social media. In interviews following the split, China explained the decision was mutual and drama-free. Nothing happened, she said. Nobody cheated. It was just a prayer and reflection that led us to realize this was the right path for the both of us. The breakup left China single again, and she made it clear she's focusing on herself and her children rather than jumping into another relationship. So what do y'all think? Does it seem like retaliation, or do you think she might be on to something? Because he filed a suit first saying, hey, she attacked me in my sleep. And she come out and say, well, wait a minute. He, after that, he, choked me and my kids in the room sleep.
Can I just say, I really don't fuck with Angela, okay? She gets on my nerves. She's been trying to focus on herself and her kids for 20-something years now. I'm over it, bitch. She want to be, and I get it. She wants to be loved so bad, and I get it, but like, girl, like, she's just willing to hop into anything, and what you expect a nigga to do when you beat his ass while he's sleeping? I mean, I get it that that's when you go hit him, get him when he's down, but what you think is gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, not after the fact you got choked the fuck out. Well, yeah, bitch, you punched him in his mouth while he's dead asleep. Like, I think any man would be feel a way about that. And I'm not and I'm not advocating she should have never got hit to begin with. I think they both need to never put their hands on each other, whether there's kids in the home or not. I'm gonna say that. However, like, if I'm by myself in the house with my kids, I'm not gonna sock a motherfucker in his face. I'm not gonna go heads up with no man. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. I just wouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, I thought her and Rob were back together. Am I tripping?
Oh no, they actually they came out with a story. They said that's not they not. They just friends.
But
Rob made that clear. Rob said no.
right, because I think she's kind of crazy. Like, I've seen her wild before. And listen, I'm not
Hmm.
saying that she's not a different person, but a lot of people will clean up their act because they cannot look crazy in public. You know what I'm saying? It fucks your money up, and that she had to learn that lesson. And I'm gonna tell you, I did watch her and Rob's show. I'm trying so hard not to cough. Sorry. I saw her and Rob's show, and she crazy. Like, she wildin'. She's screaming at him from the top of her lungs, and like, she's just a very. I feel like Tokyo and her are very similar in certain ways, and I just feel like she needs to relax and focus on her kids and herself again for the ninth time, and to like just chill here for a little bit.
What's that saying? The apple don't rot too far from the tree. And then this says, I wonder how many voice notes Tokyo Tony sent that man. The Kardashians use her as a case study. Oh my god.
I mean, that's what I was about to say is we know who her mama is, so nothing about this story is shocking. Next.
Y'all, now this is why I really have to be careful when I big up a straight man or whatever, because they usually have me end up looking like a damn fool. So if y'all remember on Christmas, we were just talking about Ludacris. I was talking about how Ludacris, I love him. He's one of my favorite artists, honey. When I even got in the studio and tried to record a little song, it was very Ludacris inspired. It was we played the song on the show and all that, honey. Now, let me find out. We gonna have to cancel Ludacris ass, honey. We might have to cancel him, child. And you see, I just shared here by way of all hip hop. Ludacris' name surfaces on MAGA event lists, and fans get confused. Oh, Luda. Well, Ludacris and MAGA. How do we get on this? And how do we get this on our 2026 bingo card? Atlanta superstar name has surfaced on performers list tied to what is being billed as the biggest MAGA celebration ever for the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Yes, that Ludacris. The same guy who gave us timeless records, Fast and Furious charisma, and decades of laughs and lyrical dominance now finds himself next to a political climate that has already scorched several careers. Ludacris has never been publicly political like that. He has mostly stayed in that rare hip hop lane of letting the music and movies speak for him. This is why this one feels different. We have already watched how this movie plays out. Nelly, also listed on the bill, caught heat for performing at a Trump adjacent event last year. Rick Ross and Snoop Dogg also faced their share of backlash for the same reason. Fair or not, the culture responded how it responded. The difference here is that Ludacris has largely avoided those conversations altogether. He definitely pulled up at the wrong time. Let us be honest, tensions are high right now. The rhetoric is wild. Luda has been in his rap bag a bit. We have all welcomed his return, and then he get on the same stage as Kid Rock that Kid Rock is headlining. Exactly. You better wake it up. They got him and Nelly at the bottom of the bill. Shame. To be clear, nobody knows the terms, the context, or even if this listing is final. It could be a mistake. It could be premature. Heck, it could be something that never actually happens. People are not playing with the name Donald Trump. Ludacris is too important to hip hop to get caught in something that distracts from his legacy. We are hoping this is all just a big misunderstanding. I don't think it is. I think he's made himself very clear. Ludacris has been in this game how long now? And has been performing how long now? He got a team, baby. He know what he's signing up for. So it is what it is. Go ahead, favorite tours.
It's gotten to a point where nothing that these black artists do in relation to the current climate surprise me anymore. I've had to come to accept that they, even though they have made art that has been so important to many of our lives and our timelines and important events that we've been a part of, they still live in a completely different world than the people that support them. And I've had to come to accept that and to not get upset. Because, like anything, I think of it, what do they say? People vote for their own self interest first, and
Mm-hmm.
everything else is secondary. And these black artists are not excluded from that by any means. So they want to preserve whatever they feel is important to them, which I understand. However, the I'm not sure. Well, it is intentional. The intentional blind spot here is it's at the expense of the people that support them, and they don't realize that because they're so far removed from everything that they endured and struggled from when they first got on as a hungry independent artist who did experience some of the issues that are impacting millions of Americans now. So at this point, I'm like, whatever, have fun. Now he's gonna start aging like sour milk anyway. So God bless him.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right. So I'm looking at the comments here in the chat. Somebody commented they have his first independent record. Oh, so I know that person disappointed. We said no, throw him in the trash. These rappers will sell their soul for $1 million and they don't even need it. Wake that up, okay? Don't even need it. Wasn't he dissing Republicans back in the day? Didn't he cuss out Bill O'Reilly for talking smack to him giving his Pepsi deal? I just think he just cussed Bill O'Reilly out because Bill O'Reilly mentioned his name and said some not so nice things about him. And I don't know. I don't think they had anything to do with his politics. Or do they realize it, or do they not care? That's the question of the century, honey.
They don't care.
Mm-mm.
They don't care. Once you get to, and we see it. If we step outside of, these multi-million dollar artists, we see it in our everyday lives. People who they've been in a struggle and then they start making a dime above starvation, and all of a sudden they're too good for things. And, oh, that's not my life. And I move forward for that. That's what I used to be. And you guys have to stop playing victim. We see it every day. And Chill talked about it earlier, and I mentioned integrity versus money. Unfortunately, in this capitalistic society, once you make a certain dime and you feel like you are above everybody and anything and the struggles that you used to go through, then you start to switch up. All of a sudden, you can't remember what you used to go through, and then you betray the people that look like you, or not even if they look like you, but they've been in the same struggle as you. So sad, but not surprising. And sad part is that there are probably more artists who are important to the culture who think like this. And I've always learned that people who avoid certain subjects, it's not to be strategic, it's to really hide where they're aligned. That's just my thought process.
I know that's right. Okay, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
And one last thing to BB's point, and they are so drunk of whatever alliance or whatever access to privilege that they perceive themselves to have that they don't recognize the first time that they fuck up, they'll be the first ones thrown to the wolves by the same people they consider to be friends. They don't see that either. It's very interesting.
Well, speaking of people who don't care, honey, so have y'all seen that conversation where the people who were in Martin, they spoke out about, the colorism allegations because Ari Lennox woke it up a long time ago that she felt like a lot of the jokes that Martin said towards Pam have been rooted in colorism, and she, it just made her feel uncomfortable as a dark skinned woman. I think R was very well within her right to say that, right? But Pam actually did not make it any better. Was Tashina Arnold, and I don't know if y'all saw her on what she had to say about it on Dion Cole's podcast. But essentially, she like pretty much told this reverse colorism story about like people being rude to Gina because she was light skinned back, pretty much adding nothing to the conversation, honey. And now Martin as pretty much is pulling us to Sheena, just talking and not adding nothing to the conversation. And my whole thing is, right, y'all see I just shared this hot new hip hop article that says Martin Lawrence addresses Ari Lennox's viral criticism of Martin. My whole thing is y'all got way too much access to be this dense. But here we are. And this starts off by saying Martin Lawrence had addressed Ari Lennox's viral criticism of the character Pam from his iconic sitcom Martin. Speaking with Fox 5 DC for a recent interview, Lawrence responded to the accusations of colorism that the show faced in 2025. Lennox, in particular, felt the series was often too harsh towards Pam. So I'm just going to play the clip of Martin on that. Let me share my screen. And let's see what Mr. Martin has to say about it.
Did you ever have that concern, or what do you make of that whole back and forth?
No, no, I never had that concern because I knew they were jokes, and that's the way black people. That's the way we joke. We go hard, and me and Tashina was just having a lot of fun, and we was just keeping it real, and I was just keeping it real. And so that's why we got a lot of laughs out of it. So, she has a right to have her own opinion and everything, but there was no malice intent.
Did you ever have that concern, or what do you make of that whole back and forth?
No.
So yeah, he says that they were just, it was just jokes to him. And then it goes on to say, Ari Lennox first voiced her complaints about Martin during a radio interview back in July. The thing that pissed me off about Martin was how much he was going in on Pam, she said, as caught by Complex. There are some things where I draw the line. Pam was so fucking beautiful and so fine, and I just feel like growing up as a chocolate girl, I don't even know if I was able to understand the greatness of Pam because of what I was being fed. Always going in on Pam, that's all I remember. As the remarks went viral and debate ensued all over the internet, Lennox issued a clarification. She explained that she still appreciates the show and didn't come at it with ill intent. I was never a fan of roastings as I am very sensitive, she admitted. So, say, yeah, that's why they did, that's what they did in the 90s. Acknowledge that, but recognize in this area that's not acceptable. And that's all you got to do. It could all be so freaking simple. My goodness. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I'm actually glad that Ari spoke up about this because even though it was centered around the discussion of Martin, it's actually expanded to other 90s Black Center shows as well. Because there was something similar that occurred. Erica Alexander from Living Single, Maxine Shaw. She was on a podcast interview. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was recent. And that topic was brought up as well because there was a discussion about that was centered around this, but geared or centered or pointed at Pam. And she spoke about it as well. And she recognized that how much of the representation was harmful considering that she was a darker skinned Black woman. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to start a generational war, but it is grinds my motherfucking gears. The main thing I cannot stand about the many from previous generations, people from generations before me, is that's just how it is. They're just how it is, motherfuckers. They're above reproach. Everything is justified, and I can't fucking stand it. It is so annoying.
Mm-hmm. I can't disagree. Like from what I've seen, and this is from the people in my life, from previous generations, I've seen how a lot of them stand for nothing and fall for anything very easily. So, but not all of them, of course. We ain't talking. If this ain't you, hun, then a hit dog won't holler. But if you feel offended by this, then you know who we talking about.
The man in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, BB.
No, I mean, the comment was that you read earlier just highlights what I was about to say is we have to acknowledge that we understand that these sitcoms that we grew up off of, yeah, they were funny, but we didn't have the level of recognition and acknowledgement that we should have had back in those days. Like we were just trying to get on TV and you told some jokes and they weren't as sensitive. But if we talk about things like representation matters, for a young Ari Lennox looking at that, she saw herself in Pam and then she saw how hard Martin went at this beautiful black woman who looks like me. So, and if you know Ari's character, if you've been following her, she is very sensitive to stuff like that. My girls had to take a million social media breaks. So for her, it was the representation piece. And I wish the black community would get off. Man, they just jokes. They're not just jokes. These jokes end up impacting people for years and years to come. And then you wonder why your sweet little Jayla is now 45 years old in therapy every week.
Oh.
Be- because they have to go back to that childhood trauma. You know, so me as a gay man, when I grew up, I had to tell my family, like, y'all called me gay before I knew I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there were certain things that I like my clothes tighter than y'all would have allowed. I listened to Destiny's Child, and y'all, at that point, I wasn't even thinking about me being attracted to other men. Hell, I was just enjoying what I saw, and man, that's faggot stuff. Oh, I'm sorry for our re-recording. But that's what they would say.
Oh, we can say that word.
Okay, whew. But that's what they would say to me. I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about my sexuality at 13, 14 years old. Never acted on it, never even thought about it, you know. And so you wonder why these things that you say are just jokes or we didn't mean any harm. It's just how we are. And then you wonder why these people are in therapy at their big ages unpacking childhood trauma because you didn't make it a safe space. So I understand Martin and I understand Tashina's viewpoint because I listened to at least hers. I definitely understand hers because her thing was, listen, it was going to be much worse because it was that part was written for a heavy set black woman and she just ended up killing the role and she got it. And so for her, it was like, oh, he gonna tell these jokes. I'm just as good as telling the jokes as him, so I can come back just as quick. But you know, we watched the show and we saw how Martin most of the time would get the upper end on her. So I get where Ari Lennox is coming from, and I wish as black people we acknowledge that and just move on. We still love the sitcoms; they're still a part of our culture, but they just don't fit where we are today.
And that's it. And we have a comment saying that colorism runs deep. And when Favorite Tours brought up Erica Alexander earlier, honey, it was actually due to colorism. She was not about to be on Living Single, honey. And y'all
She
notice how
sure
she never
wasn't.
lived in it. She didn't live in the house with the girls because they had to fight for her to be on the show. They said, well, she can't live in the house, but we're gonna put her across the street. We'll let her live across the street. Colorism, all because she was a dark skinned actress. So, hey, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, oh, there she go. Go ahead, gorgeous moon. Oh, and Hillary on Fresh Prince was super light skinned. Okay, okay. Now, Moon, you with us? Oh, Moon is having issues. Okay, well, just let us know when you're back, bro. Well, this next story has, so this is just really an update. So remember we talked not too long ago about Cameron and J. Cole where they had like a legal back and forth where Cameron sued J. Cole because Cameron appeared on one of J. Cole's tracks, but and he was like, well look,
Oh, sorry. I'm back. Ooh,
oh
sheesh.
hey, welcome back.
Oh my God. That
Well
thing be messing me up.
before I start talking about J. Cole and Cameron, did you want to add something about the Martin?
I did. And and what you guys are saying are right. They really should acknowledge, like, okay, yes, we were in a different time. Things, um, you know, everything in that time was not PC. Anything that was going on in the 90s, 80s, 70s would not fly today. I'm kind of on the thing like, well, I'm sorry, Ari. We know that's what it was. And I'm a product of that generation. So I'm like, girl, we know. Like, yes, there was big colorism. There was big everything. homophobia, everything you can put under the sun. That's what it was. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all probably gonna be mad at me when I say it, but sometimes, girl, you're too damn sensitive. We know. We know it was bad.
But see, and that's like, if it was said like that, then that probably wouldn't be so much outrage. The
But
problem was,
I didn't expect Martin to have the right words for that
right,
because
because he was
he
like,
went there.
it was all just jokes. But like, no, what she is talking about is a very real thing.
It is. It really is. But at this point, Ari's not like, you are old enough to know that at a certain point in time, we just got involved. It ain't even like we've been involved that fucking long. Like, we still ain't out of civil rights. We still over here fighting for fucking civil rights. Girl, yes,
Yeah.
we know. They had colorism. Yes, they didn't, the jokes. Matter of fact, duh, like, to this day, to this day, dark skinned black women get treated bad. Dudes always fetishize over light skinned ambiguous women. We talk about this all the time. Like, so I get their defense. Like, I know he probably felt like he has to defend himself because he ain't been through therapy like that and probably ain't evolved that he can
He's
take all.
right.
And just like fucking Cam Newton couldn't take the criticism that he said the word wrong, so he just made a whole fucking new, up here can't even spell the word he just made. It's like, girl, we know that those times were not perfect. They were not good. They weren't PC. They were homophobic jokes. Sometimes when I watch those things and I go, ooh, I cringe, like, ooh, child, that stuff was bad. But that was the time we lived. Dudes, it was a normal time for dudes to talk, older dudes would talk to younger girls and everybody just walked around like nothing was going on. You can't do that today without it being a problem. But in that time, that's what was happening. It's not right, but stop acting like you just so shocked. Like, you're not 12, Ari. I'm sorry. And you know it. And you know, to this day, dark-skinned black women still have to fight and deal with colorism and everything else and being treated less than. So, you know, yes, to point it out, I guess, but like to make a big deal about it, I feel like it's not really, I don't know. If you want to battle like some issues like that, I feel like there's more constructive ways to do it. And that's, I don't know. Men are involved. Tisha handles it better, but of course, we know Martin ain't involved.
Yeah, because I wasn't a fan of her response. I don't think she really handled it.
No, I mean,
Tisha, you talking Klashina? That's my
Tashina,
bad.
excuse me, Tashina.
I did not like her response at all. That whole
Oh,
reverse colorism shit, honey. Please get out my face with that
oh, I
shit.
didn't even hear her, and I didn't even mean her. I meant Tashina. That's who I meant, but.
Hmm.
Look, and then you have another light skinned person trying to speak about something that she's not feeling the ramification. Like, it's just making it worse for no reason. Like, girl. But anyway, sorry that I have been absent from the chitter chatter. I had family pop up on me, so I'm back. But I know, I feel like I'm going to be that Gen Xer that y'all be like rolling your eyes at, but I'm sorry. Like, stop being so damn soft.
And it's fine. At least you know, honey, because yes, there was a few eye rolls in it, but it's fine. We love you. And that's
I'm just like, fuck, like, I don't know. I guess because this is the shit we have to battle every day. Should you point it? I mean, I guess there's pointing it out. Okay, now what? The show's been made. Like, what do you want from it at this point?
and we
Are
have a
we
comment.
doing a teacher moment? Like, are you trying to come out and combat colorism? Is that a cause? Or are you just out here just talking about you traumatized? I don't know.
We have a comment. Tashina's response was bad, but I'm glad she was willing to to stand corrected. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yep. Because
And
the
that's
response of the girl
evolution.
was nice.
Because if you can say yes, things could have been better, and you accept that, but I wouldn't expect that from Martin. Come on now. Why are we expect? Why are we expecting? Never mind.
Because they play
Um,
nothing but Martin on BT. Like that's literally all they play all
I
day.
mean, like Martin the person. Why do we expect him to be evolved? Like, child, he barely holding on,
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead,
and
favorite
he's an
Flora.
older Gen Xer, so there's even worse, and he's a man. Like, why are we expecting more?
Miranda, I understand where you're coming from. I'll let you have that. I just there's one thing that was missing from the entire conversation, not just from your comment. Um, I wanted to present as well. We also have to recognize that Ari is a lot younger than all of us. So everyone in this room, we lived in the era of watching those shows in real time, in whatever age we were. We lived in that era. We lived in that time. We
Right.
saw it firsthand. So she's looking at it from a fresh set of eyes with a brand new perspective. And I actually really appreciate her for speaking up about that because it is something that is important, has always been important, but there is now more of a green light for dark skinned black women to speak more openly about their experiences without being labeled as of anything as negative, you know. So,
Well,
and I'm
and
glad
we
that
still do though. I mean,
right.
not to argue with you, but like honestly, I mean, especially because we live on social media half the time. Like, I live the dark skinned black girl, like colorism being like, oh, you're cute for a dark skinned girl, or like I've lived those things, and they're still happening, especially when men fetishize over light skinned ambiguous women day in and day out.
I
Like,
hear you, and I totally respect that. And I'm not going to review anything about your lived experience. I would never ever do that.
oh no.
I'm just saying, from the perspective of someone that is much younger than us, I appreciate them bringing things to our attention, whether or not we agree with it. There is another layer for us to consider when we engage in the things that we once enjoyed. We're seeing it now in other things as well with all these trials and all that other bullshit. So
Hmm.
I'm just really appreciative of her voice and her willingness to speak up like that, and from someone who is younger than us. And that's all I have
Right.
to say.
No, you're right.
I think that's the overall conversation is as we progress, like, cause your lived experience, Moon, isn't ours. And there are things that millennials are gonna, and we're answering to it now, like our parenting choices. We've raised monsters, right? But
Wake
you
it
know, and
up, honey.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but we
No,
have,
but
and now
seriously, right.
we're having to answer to that. And I think that what happens is we have to get out of, well, I lived through it and this was my
And
experience.
right.
And because the thing about Ari is that she's very hypersensitive, but her voice, that was her representation when she went to go look back at that, because we were telling her age group, this is a good show. It made us laugh. And then you think about that representation. She saw Pam and it's like, well, damn, why y'all jonesing her so hard? Well, they wouldn't use that word, but you know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah. I
that
know what you were saying.
that's the
But
big conversation that we have to have as a black community. And I believe this is why we can't progress, is because our moms used to say that, our parents used to say that, I got mine, you got to get yours. It was hard for me out here. I had to do what I had to do.
well,
And we
any
have to get out of
mentality
that.
that you want somebody to it's and if you want someone to struggle just because you struggle, now do I believe in um you can't I do believe in if people put their time in, just because you just got your little certificate don't mean you're supposed to hop over everybody else. I don't believe in that, but I do believe that they should live a little bit better, but there also should still be boundaries. I, Ari is 34. She's not that far removed from that.
in my personal opinion, she's not that far removed. And then she's also not oblivious to, because she came up in the early 2000s. Stuff was still messed up then too. Stuff was still messed up. Like, I mean, the Me Too movement didn't even really get going until the last 10, I mean, barely the last 10 years. Like, there has to be some type of, like, okay, yes, the past was, like, even the rap, I mean, the rap or the songs, when they say, oh, in some of my favorite songs, but when they say little girl, it's like they're referencing, talking to a younger woman. Like, this shit is creepy. There's nothing we can do about it now, but they talking about 15-year-old girls in these songs and said so in some songs, like, really young. And we know this stuff is out there.
I don't think that I don't think our mindset is we want you to go back and change it because that's humanly impossible.
Right,
But
but
I
I'm,
think
right.
what we're saying is let's have a conversation and let's not get so stuck in, well, that's just how it was, because that's what it comes off as, and that's
I
why we
don't
can't
think
move forward.
I don't think it's, but I think we are moving
Well,
forward
I'm just
because
gonna be honest with you. Like, if you read the comments and everything that, like, what Will has said, what you're saying is akin to that's just how it was. Move on,
it kind of
and
is,
we'll
but
never get anything from that.
what I'm, but I think the point that I'm trying to make that's kind of being, it did happen in that time. There's nothing we can do, but I think in the last 10 years, there has been significant changes in the way we talk about women, the way men are being held accountable for their transgressions against women, at a higher rate than they ever were ever before. We are very hyper
Agreed.
aware.
Agreed.
We are very hyper
But I think
aware.
it's the structure of the conversation. So if you tell me, like, and I know we probably need to move on, Lord, but if you tell me from Ari Lennox's point of view, right? She's saying, this is my perspective. If you have a conversation with me and say, hey, I understand your perspective, so let's walk through the history. This is what was
Right.
going on in the 90s. This is where we were. This is how we progress. Then people can see that more, because, you know, when you have conversations like this, the goal is
Hmm.
always to educate and empower. But we
Right.
do see most of the time from your generation, especially, it's not to say, it's always to say, well, that's just how it was, things are different now. Well, you have to walk people through that, because sometimes we can't see it unless there's important dialogue behind it. And that way people get to say, you know what? Yeah, I can see that. I understand where you were now, because they're not going to know truly what the dynamics were because they didn't live it. Like, and your perspective is going to be different from mine, because I was watching Martin at 8, 9 years old, and I'm not trying to give away your age, but, you know, your
Oh,
perspective was different. You see what I'm saying? Because
no, no,
you were a
and I
little bit
get that.
older. And
And
so
I
I
get that.
think
And I
that we
think
have to be very constructive in our conversations, because we do have people that are more hypersensitive now because of access. I think Sharisa talked about that earlier. If I got your name wrong, excuse me. But she made that a point earlier. And Slayanka, like, we have too much access. And so when you have somebody that have all this access and it's all of this history is so rich, you're going to be hypersensitive to it. And
hmm
so I think we have to be very constructive in our conversations.
and maybe my assumption, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Maybe my assumption is that by her shock, like, okay, so we have definitely come a long way. There's work that still needs to be done. Um, and yes, there should be dialogue around it and for it and everything like that. And I think we have. And so for me, it's my assumption, like, this is all out here and we all know this and the work is being done, especially by certain people or some of the people. And so, like, like maybe there's just the disconnect for me. Like, how do you not see that? And maybe that's just because I'm hyper aware of a lot of things, and I'm just assuming like, why wouldn't Ari Lennox be that way?
And
But
that's a
and maybe
fair
that's the wrong.
assumption.
And maybe and that's probably wrong on my part because I'm like, well, one, you're 34, one, you're on social media, two, you're on social media, and and you've had to battle these same issues. So it's like, well, girl, you didn't know? Like, how did you
I
not know? And
I
maybe
think it's
that's
the
my
age old
part.
saying is perception is reality. So for you, you've lived it, you've seen it in different flavors. You like, girl, I sat down, had a cup of tea. I get it. For her, it could be a different perspective, and I think
And it
that's
probably
why
is, but
her
I thought
comments
maybe,
were important.
yeah. No. And I get it. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, just leave it in the past. But I think my brain is like, well, you are just as like, if anybody, you should be hyper aware. Like you said, she was out here getting social media breaks and I'm like, well, I thought you like I was like, hey, don't you know this already? Like, I don't know, and maybe that is just my bad assumption. And you know what happens when you assume, but that's I just didn't think like she was. I was like, why are you like? I didn't know this was breaking news. Like, I don't know. And
And I
I'm
don't know
sorry if
if
I
she
offended
treated
any of
it.
my friends. I didn't mean to, but I don't even know. I don't think I have all the language to articulate it better than what I'm doing now. It's just in my
It's
brain.
your
I'm like,
perspective, right? And I don't think
hmm
anything for me, and I'll speak for myself, was it wasn't offensive. I think it's more so, you know, we're all looking at it from different areas and different places on where we are. So it's just like, hey, we see things differently. So her comment to me, I don't think she made it a big deal. She was just talking through, hey, it impacted me in this way. And then, of course, people got sensitive because we love these shows and we
right,
grew up off of them and we made it bigger when it should have been, hey, let's take it back so that she understands what the culture was then, and then we can walk her up to what has changed. And we recognize that people are hypersensitive to it. We recognize that we're still going through something in our community. I think had we not been so emotional in the response, it wouldn't have gotten what it got, because Tashina Arnold had me in her response to it at first. And then when she got to, well, yeah, it wasn't colorism against me. It was actually colorism against Gina. And I was like, hold up, girl. Two separate
I rolled
things.
my eyes so hard. I said, I cannot believe she said that.
well,
So
and
I
that
think
me
that
and
that's where
and
we come
again,
from.
she's an older Gen X, and she also is living. Mm, well, there's issues in that in the in the diaspora of that of like you benefit from privilege, even though you're black, you're a light skinned black that who benefits within the system for having lighter skin. And you should know that as well at your big age. Let's not. And no, it can't be colorism. Like, it's just like saying a black person is racist. Black people can't be racist because we don't hold any levers of power in the system. So no, we are not racist. Now we can be bigots all
Honey,
day long.
I wish we could be the racists that they accuse us of being, honey. We couldn't even damn keep a damn white person out of our neighborhood if we tried. Shit.
Okay? Or out our business.
Child,
They be in
please.
our business. So I'm sorry to hold it up and we had this big dialogue. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I actually appreciate it because these are the kind of conversations I like, and I feel like they need to be had.
They
So,
do. They do. And I probably should not assume that Ari should know all of these things. And I think that is where I was coming from. Like, girl, you, like, are we not using our common sense? We know that. But, like, don't look to Martin to say nothing smart. Come on, now. Let's not
oh,
do that.
child, please. The only thing I'm looking for is wearing a sweatsuit and going out in Beverly Hills with a gun, honey, and pulling that thing up in the air. That's the only
Good
thing I'm looking for
night.
Martin for.
That
Good
part.
evening. I
And,
can't
Gene,
even look at him for good sitcom work anymore, honey, because that shit he did with Kelsey Grammer a few years ago was trash. that they could
And
have
was
left
it a
alone.
few years ago? Because I do not remember that at all.
Yeah, it was 2014. It was the same year I started Verizon. And I was so excited about that show coming back. Or maybe it was even 2013. Maybe it was the year before. But it was between 2013 and 2014. And it was a show because I got so excited about it. Ooh, Martin and Kelsey Grammer, who's behind Girlfriends. Oh, this is going to be a good show. Whack, whack,
Yeah. Well, I kind of think, yeah, Martin and Kelsey Grammer, I don't know about that. That's an odd couple.
whack. They played lawyers and it was whack. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I was going to say I wasn't offended either, and I'm glad you were able to have this conversation amongst friends, so that we can all listen and hear each other and understand each other's perspective. And for the listeners, if someone wants to come after what Miranda has said, I will personally read the dog shit out of you, so you better leave her alone. Okay?
Thank
And
you.
plus, the thing is, if you can't go to Bella Noche's, where the hell can you go? Exactly.
That
Oh,
part.
and shout out to Bella Noche's. I heard they actually closed them down. I haven't confirmed
Oh,
it, but I did hear that Bella Noche's was closed.
Baby, it is closed.
Damn.
oh, damn. Well, where can you go? Jesus.
Well, Cameron looks like he may or may not be going back to court. I don't know. So this is the whole thing between him and J. Cole. Well, y'all see I just shared this exclusive with All Hip Hop. Cameron versus J. Cole update. Major portion dismissed, but fight is not over, child. And you remember we talked about this case not too long ago, but it starts out Cameron has dismissed part of his lawsuit against J. Cole, according to court documents obtained by All Hip Hop. The Harlem rapper voluntarily dropped all claims against Universal Music Group without prejudice, meaning he could refile those claims later. The dismissal stated that each party will pay its own legal costs related to the Universal Music portion of the case. However, Cameron continues his legal battle against J. Cole and his company, Cole World Inc., over their 2024 collaboration, Ready 24. Cameron originally sued J. Cole and Universal Music Group in October 2025. He claimed he was owed at least $500,000 in royalties from Ready 24, which appeared on Cole's mixtape, Might Delete Later. The lawsuit said Cameron recorded the song with J. Cole in June of 2022 in New York City. Cameron claimed he agreed to let Cole use his vocals only if Cole would collaborate on a future single with him. According to the lawsuit, Cole initially agreed to the collaboration deal, but later backed out. Cole allegedly told him in July 2023 that instead of recording a new song together, he wanted to appear on Cameron's podcast, It Is What It Is. Cameron claimed Cole repeatedly said he was unavailable for the podcast between July 2023 and April of 2024. Cole then released Ready 24 in April of 2024 without fulfilling the collaboration agreement, according to the lawsuit. The original lawsuit stated that Cameron was credited only as a co-composer on Ready 24, not as a performer, even though his vocals appear on the track. He wanted a court to declare him a co-author of the sound recording and order an audit of the song's royalties. Cameron also claimed Cole promised him final approval before releasing the song, but said that never happened. Neither Cole nor his representatives have publicly responded to the lawsuit since it was filed in October. J. Cole, you dirty dog, and you know that is wrong. That is not becoming of a North Carolinian. That is so shady. You know you did him dirty.
It isn't.
It, not too much, girl. Don't make me call Portia.
It seems par for the course for me.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? When it comes to them Fayetteville niggas, you know what? Never mind. Let me not. Because I think we got some Fayetteville natives in the room at the moment. So I'm going to keep it cute for now. But you know how y'all do. You know how y'all do in Fayetteville. They don't call y'all Fed Nam for no reason. Well, that's that on that. Hopefully, I just feel like it wouldn't have been, even if you would have came on the podcast for like 5 minutes or something, just made an appearance or something. Because you already said, no, I don't want to collaborate with you, but you the one who brought the podcast idea to him. And now, then all of a sudden you kept saying you was unavailable to do it and then release that single. J. Cole, that's shady. Mm-mm. I don't like that. That's that white mom side coming out, honey. I don't like that. That's not. Mm-mm.
Very sinister. I mean, with a person with hair like that, you just kind of have to expect those things.
Well, one thing that I didn't expect, honey, because y'all remember the last time we talked about the guy who was Jam Master Jay's godson, who was allegedly locked up for having something to do with him being killed. But y'all heard we talked about him being released recently. And honey, I have the story here. This is from All Hip Hop as well, and you should see where it says Feds appeal acquittal of Jam Master Jay's alleged killer. So federal prosecutors have appealed the acquittal of Carl Jordan Jr. in the 2002 murder of Jam Master Jay, as the long-running case continues to evolve more than 2 decades after the famed DJ was killed. Prosecutors went to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit to formally challenge the judge's post-verdict acquittal order, and does not yet include detailed legal arguments, which are expected in later filings. Jordan, the godson of Jam Master Jay, had been convicted in February 2024, along with co-defendant Ronald Tennard Washington. Both men had been found guilty of murder while engaged in narcotics trafficking for the October 2002 shooting in Jay's Queens recording studio. The conviction appeared to bring long-sought justice in one of hip-hop's most notorious cold cases. But Judge LaShawn D.R.C. Hall granted Jordan a rare judgment of acquittal late last year, siding with his attorneys that prosecutors did not present sufficient evidence linking him to a clear motive for murder. The judge's ruling erased Jordan's conviction on the 2 murder counts, prompting this appeal by the government. In contrast, Washington's efforts to overturn his own conviction failed before the same judge. The court denied his motions for a judgment of acquittal and a new trial, and his convictions remain intact. Washington is in jail awaiting sentencing. Meanwhile, a third man, Jay Bryant, remains scheduled for a trial in connection with the killing. Prosecutors charged Bryant in 2003, pointing to his alleged role in allowing Jordan and Washington into the studio through a back entrance and placing his DNA on evidence found at the scene. Bryant has pled not guilty and is set to face a separate federal trial in 2026. The appeal now before the Second Circuit will test whether a judge can set aside a jury's guilty verdict when motive evidence is contested. If prosecutors succeed, Jordan's conviction could be reinstated without a new trial. If the appeal fails, the acquittal stands and Jordan cannot be retried because of double jeopardy protections. No briefing schedule or hearing date has been set. Child, this is. I just know his Jam Master Jay's family and friends is just like, I know they want this nightmare to be fucking over. This has been over 20 years with this shit. And now over the last, 3 to 4 years or so, they've been like bringing in people, arresting people who may or may not have something to do with it and letting them out. It's crazy. But that's that on that, child. Ooh, what we got next, honey? Oh, child. So, y'all remember the show Different Strokes, I'm sure, honey. And you remember, one thing about, what was his name? The one, Arnold, his name, Gary Coleman. Y'all know Gary Coleman and Todd Bridges, honey. What was one thing they had in common? They both loved them some white women, honey. Some crazy white women at that, honey, allegedly. But I guess, love just wasn't enough in this relationship because Todd Bridges just left his wife, honey, and they split, headed for divorce, girl. And y'all see I just shared here by way of TMZ. Different Strokes actor Todd Bridges splits from wife, headed from divorce. Well, Todd Bridges and his wife, and if I pronounce her name incorrectly, I'm so sorry, but is that Batiho? Todd Bridges and his wife,
Betty
Batiho.
Joe, maybe.
Is it? You think it's Betty Joe?
yeah.
Okay, because I was trying to make her Spanish, honey, Batiho.
I put money as Betty Joe.
Okay, that sounds good.
Not Batiho.
Batiho, honey. Well, Todd Bridges and his wife, Betty Joe, are calling it quits and heading for divorce, TMZ has learned. The Different Strokes star tells TMZ, after much thought and mutual respect, we have decided to end our marriage. During our time together, we shared meaningful moments, but have chosen to go our separate ways. I ask for privacy and wish her nothing but love and happiness moving forward. The split comes just over 3 years after the couple tied the knot in a low-key Beverly Hills ceremony with about 40 guests. The pair met on a dating app 9 months before their wedding, quickly hitting it off and getting engaged about 6 months later. Mm. Todd is a stepfather to Betty Jo's 4 children and has two of his own, 29-year-old daughter, Bo, and 28-year-old son, Spencer. This was Todd's second marriage. He was previously married to Dory Bridges from 1998 to 2012. Well, I hate that him and Batijo broke up. Is they calling that lady fajitas? Okay. That was one thing. I know it's kind of like small, but y'all remember how, like during the pandemic, when they kind of shut down a lot of restaurants and stuff. And one of the things I was missing the most was just the fajitas, honey. Not because of the way they taste, but just because of the drama. Every time somebody like it just got silent in the room in the whole restaurant, and all you heard was that sizzle, honey. And then they bringing it over to me like, yes, watch my plate sizzle, bitch. Look at me, attention, yes. Shout
What
out
a
to
way
you.
to anchor this story.
I like fajitas.
I was like,
I
what
don't
are
know
we
what to
talking
say.
about? I was like, what? What does this have to do with
How
the
we
breakup?
segue into some fucking fajitas, boy?
It's,
I tell
it's all favorite tourist's fault. He talking about fajitas in the chat. He know I'm a fat bitch who loves food.
you.
But judging from those wedding pictures, I am 100% now positive that it is Betty Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, I really try to get that lady a Spanish name. I am so sorry, honey.
They only
Child.
been together 3 years. It's fine. It's all right. Whatever.
Exactly.
And who talks about stepkids when your children are over 30? Leave us alone.
Listen, wake that up. I
Um,
thought this was so weird.
well, and I hate when in another scenario, I hate when a younger woman talk about her stepchildren, even though she the same age as them. That irritates me. Be like, girl, go sit down. They
Mm.
will beat you. They will gang up on you and beat you up. Shut up.
Yep. Well, this next story I have. So remember we talked. I think it was yesterday. We talked about Dash Dillinger. He put something on his social media, like kind of alluding to Corrupt may not be doing well with his health.
What?
Well,
I missed that story.
yeah, that he just it was a social media post, and he was just like, we here to live. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he's like, we here to live. We don't. I don't want you to be like Nate Dogg and stuff like that. But so it is confirmed he has been in the hospital, and y'all see I just shared here by TMZ. Rapper Corrupt hospitalized with serious health issues.
Well, I mean, all of our rappers that's getting up in their 50s, get close to 60s, a lot of them don't make it to 60. A lot of
Yep.
them ain't been making it to, I don't know who's 60 though. I mean, it's probably a very few,
We have a comment
unfortunately.
saying praise up to the West Coast legend. Baby, there's a comment in the chat and I'm screaming, whoa, Todd Bridges was married to a white woman? Baby, I would be surprised if he wasn't.
Okay. Okay.
But it says legendary California rapper Corrupt was hospitalized after battling some serious health issues, TMZ has confirmed. We're told the Dog Pound Chief is on the mend, but still in the hospital where he spent the last several weeks. Our sources would not reveal the specifics of his medical condition, but did say that his health is improving and he's getting better. So, yeah. And then it ends with the post about Daz Dillinger's, which we already talked about. So,
No, but on a serious note, like I saw somebody post about this, 'cause the last few rappers that have died have been in their mid 50s, and I mean, this is the first, like, this is the first iteration, like, I think we had this discussion before, like rock, rock and roll, blues, jazz, they've gone through multiple iterations. This is the first generation of you know, the rappers, and they're not making it that far into their age at all.
fortunately. We
That's
have a
kind of
comment
scary.
saying the '80s rappers are the ones in their '60s. Yeah, I'm trying to think of if I can think. I'm trying to think of any. Yeah, like no, I think what's the name? The
The si-
digital
He
don't give
died.
me.
He was
Yeah,
50 something.
damn.
He was late 50s. I don't think he was in his 60s yet.
Oh, Auntie, your play uncle.
Shock G. Yeah. Oh yeah, and my play uncle, honey, and shout out
Hmm.
to him. And then they had a I saw a tweet yesterday that said like who was
Okay.
successful in going from rapper to acting, and of course the Queen Latifah was brought up and rightfully so. But look at how it for my play uncle Ice T, honey, to not be able to act work because y'all we can say it out loud. He can't act work for damn, but we love
Who?
him dearly, Ice T, and
Oh,
he's been Detective Finn Tutuola on Law Order SVU for what 20 years now,
yes,
honey.
he's the oldest rapper alive right now. He's 67.
What was he
Curtis
acting?
Blow. Oh no. Pete and Bat. Wait, oh, those are British rappers in their 70s. Please get out of here.
Oh, I don't
That
know.
don't even Flavor Flav is 66.
Oh,
KRS-One is 60. Chuck D is in his 60s. Benzino is in his 60s. But that's the end of the list. Like, it looks like
damn.
Ice-T is the oldest currently, followed by Curtis Blow.
Shout out to my play uncle.
But that's a short list. That's it. That's all we got. Like,
Well, this next story, do y'all remember when we were talking about, Favorite Tours actually brought up in the show about, Eldon Campbell, unfortunately, leaving us. And I
who?
learned who that person is. And then, we learned that he died due to an accidental drowning.
Oh
And when we read
no.
that story, y'all may not remember this, but I
Oh
kept
yeah.
saying like something ain't right. Something don't sound right. Because we learned that he
Right.
was a man who loved fishing and did it often, but he died from an accidental drowning. Well,
Oh.
now there's more information. Um, and it says here by way of TMZ, Eldon Campbell was wearing partially unzipped life vests at the time of drowning. So more shit that's making me think that something ain't right.
Partially unzipped. That's weird.
So officials say video shows ex-NBA player Eldon Campbell went out on the waters in the middle of the night before his tragic drowning. But he seemingly took some safety precautions as he's wearing a partially unzipped life vest when his body was found on the shore.
Oh
TM,
man.
TMZ Sports has obtained the investigation report on the NBA champ's death, which states 57-year-old Campbell left a nearby boat ramp alone around 12:37 a.m. on December 1st. The doc said Campbell's body was found in the sand along the water's edge in Pompano Beach, Florida, and he was tethered to a Sea-Doo Fish Pro watercraft, which was registered to him. Inside the watercraft, officials found personal items like his wallet and an energy drink. Campbell's wife told investigators the former Hooper prioritized his health, was able to swim, and had no history of drug or alcohol abuse. The wife did note that he had a history of type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol, but did not complain of any health related issues prior to his death. The toxicology report came back clean. It's unclear what happened on the water, but he was not discovered until later that night. Campbell was pronounced dead at 8:03 p.m. And TMZ broke the story. Officials say Campbell died due to an accidental drowning. Something ain't right.
That is kind of
Check
weird.
the wife.
Cause I'm like, well, why is he out there fishing? I mean, I guess you can go fishing at late at night or really early in the morning, but that does sound weird.
But you ain't gonna be
Mm.
fishing from a sea dude. Like, none of this is making sense.
Yeah, so y'all see what we all on the same page now. Something ain't right.
Yeah, it's a little
Sounds like an episode
fishy.
of SVU, honey.
Well,
Okay.
like his jacket was partially unzipped. Like, how does that? I mean, would that take you out? Would that not help you? I don't
And he
know.
was tethered to the boat, so like he was tied to it. So I don't know.
I don't know how they didn't start with foul play, but okay. Because
Accidental
he a black
drowning.
man. He a black man and they don't care. That's why. Let me
Ooh,
just stop acting like I don't know why.
I mean, he could have
See,
had a heart attack or
He
something. I mean,
could
when
have.
did he die?
But they said
December
the
1st.
toxicology report and all that came. Well, just the toxicology report came back clean. I wonder if they're going to do a full autopsy.
Well, they should have
But
done that already.
Right. Why didn't they do that? They just do the autopsy because this seems weird. That don't seem like natural causes. I thought if it ain't just natural causes or an expected death, they would automatically do an autopsy.
Well, if your body is found on the beach, I mean, they're gonna do an autopsy. That's just it. There's just no question about that. He would have gotten an autopsy. So that's why I'm like,
yeah,
when did this happen?
December 1st.
It's been a
And we
minute.
all the way in January, and they don't have no idea. Oh yeah, something.
They don't care. Somebody is not like this is, what
Well,
Something
city is
ain't
he in?
right.
they know
He
he
was.
drowned, but why? If he could swim and he's on a sea dude, like,
And ain't nobody open up an investigation of
yeah,
like,
no trauma, no nothing. He just found dead. Nah, come on now.
I would have thought they would have did an autopsy so then we could rule out any natural causes.
Yeah. Well, they've done one, but they haven't announced other than drowning, like something
Mm-mm.
happened or very weird.
What
Anyway,
city is he in or state?
It
it
happened
was
in Pompano
Florida.
Beach,
Oh,
Florida.
Pompano. Yes,
So
that's what I knew what it was because I wanted to tell Auntie it's
Oh, it was
Pompano
Pompano.
Beach.
Okay, y'all was letting me
Yeah.
say Pompano.
Well,
but
I didn't want to interrupt you, and I wanted
I
to
think
sit
people
back.
already know what to expect when you are pronounce. Like you called that woman Batijo, and clearly that was Betty Joe.
It's late. It's late. And I did want to address that, but then I got caught up in the part of like, why they ain't did that? What is going on? Why is there no investigating with Pompano Beach? Well, okay, well,
I'm
there
telling you,
it is.
because when we read the first story, I'm like, hold up, this because y'all know me, honey. I'm the kind of bitch like one. It has 1 + 1 = 2 to me. That's just how I like to keep it simple. And this, when I was reading this shit, I'm like, this does not sound right. How
It
in the hell?
doesn't.
Okay, so he leaves out of there at 12:37 a.m. to go fishing. He's pronounced dead at 8 something the next day, right on December 1st. But he can swim. And now we learned about there was a partially unzipped, like what the fuck?
And he was
Uh,
tethered to the boat, and wait, she didn't like say, dang, it's strange that he's been gone for 8 hours fishing.
On a sea dude. Like, huh?
Hmm?
None
Look,
of that makes sense.
I don't know either.
I'm a hush,
Them
but
people in
check the wife
Pompano
chat.
is lazy as hell, and they just don't want to do the work, or they don't give a fuck, or a little bit of both. Because I'm shocked that they wouldn't think foul play.
Or they're investigating and we don't know any details other
We
than this.
we
Because, I
may just
mean,
be getting little tidbits.
yeah, that could be possible that it's being
That could
investigated,
be.
but we just don't know.
They want to keep it under wraps. Maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
well,
I
at
hope so.
least we
I
talking
know
about
I
it,
would
putting it
have
out there,
questions.
honey. Cause and look, you see, that's why I like to do it, the show, honey. I like to, put the bug in y'all ear and stuff. Cause look what happened now. Did y'all see over the past day where they're talking about Aaron Hall? We've been talking about that since March of last year when they couldn't find his ass. Now everybody's real.
Damn, it's been going on that long.
It's been going on that long.
Damn. Let that man hide. Let him hide. What are he hiding from? I forgot. What is he hiding from again?
So when some shit pop off, and when that wife might get arrested, allegedly, let's remember here we was all talking about it, honey, before all the shit
We're gonna
broke.
say we knew it. We knew
We
something.
knew
We gonna
something
say
was
we
right.
knew it. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Well, I got 3 more stories left. I would have had more, but some of these stories I'm actually gonna save for tomorrow because I didn't realize how many I had on this notepad. But
You was
And
just
it is
going
getting
away.
late for some of
I
us.
do
it
have
is.
an update. I do have an update. I don't know if y'all know what's going on in the news right now.
Mm,
There's been another federal shooting in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I saw it.
no, no, I
I
didn't
don't.
see that.
Oh, they going buck wild over there, baby.
They finna tear it up now. They done shot and kill. I think did they kill him? I don't know.
I didn't read the story. I just saw the tweet that there was another shooting. I didn't go into it.
Yeah, I hadn't been able to hear it. I caught that something popped off, but so much has been going on over here, but I just wanted to make everyone aware that there has been another shooting.
And so we have a comment. He was a Venezuelan man. He's alive. They are claiming he swung a shovel.
Hmm.
They claim that everybody did everything. Oh, they did something. Just like they said the girl drove into them and we knew, and clearly she didn't. But this ain't the first killing. Renee wasn't the first killing because they didn't kill a black man. I think two black men. New Year's Day. They've killed more than one person, but white folks didn't get up in arms until they killed somebody like them, so.
Not to mention
Mm.
the people they've killed in detention. And there was a tweet that Stephen Miller put out that pretty much y'all go ahead and do what y'all want to do. Can't no city official, nobody tell y'all nothing. Y'all, you have your
When I
orders.
tell you, when the
It's
kingdom
like,
come
wow.
down, when I say when the kingdom come down, and if that little motherfucker don't get arrested, he better hope don't nobody catch his ass on the street.
Yep. He pretty much said, y'all, what if they try to stop you, whatever. Pretty much giving them carte blanche to shoot people.
Oh yeah, they been had carte blanche. The Christy Nome and JD Vance told them that they have absolute immunity. Okay,
Yep.
just wait. Statute of limitations for murder does not go away. Baby, if they can Trump will give you a pardon, but guess what? If they get them state charges, can't no pardon save y'all motherfuckers. That's alright. That's alright. There are
Mm-hmm.
people keeping tabs on who's doing what.
Yeah. Well,
Bastards.
speaking
Let's
of
start playing.
seeing somebody who don't want to catch somebody in the street hunting, I think Carlissa Safford is saying she better not catch Jill Scott in the street hunting.
Wait, who?
Calling her son of Carlissa Safford,
Who's that?
Blueface's mama.
Oh, fuck that bitch. What?
Because Jill Scott said that her son was a pimp and she did not like that, honey.
Girl, bye. He is a pimp. What you mean with his dirty looking face? Ew.
Well, and I said have this link from Hot New Hip Hop. Carlissa Sappel blasts Jill Scott for calling Blueface a pimp.
Oh, girl.
So let me share my screen, and there's just a couple of video clips. Sorry to put y'all through this, but I thought it was hilarious, child.
I don't like her.
Me either, but I will say she's actually a really pretty woman. I think she's a
She
gorgeous.
is, but she ugly on the inside, and she's mentally
Yes,
not
and her
okay.
son could be so cute, honey, but he just made himself look so nasty. He
Just play
looks.
the videos, baby, because what you talking about right now, you ain't talking about nothing.
I know.
You,
When you start saying,
Scott, you know your big ass didn't have no right coming for none of these kids talking about he a pimp. A pimp is somebody who lies and leeches off of women. If
oh,
anything,
bitch,
Blue done gave so many women opportunities and careers from them trying to fuck on him for something. They got everything they came for in return. You just mad that that last husband that didn't ever marry you, that came for that coffee shop, tricked you out of coffee shop. Now that's a pimp. Okay? Somebody that come and pretend they want to be with you and they get something out of it, that's a pimp.
girl,
All your
bye.
last endeavor, you probably still over there with him, and y'all just is 6 years later, and I didn't see no marriage, and you man bashing. Find somebody else's son to play with your big ass, okay? Blue ain't did nothing to you. Call.
Goodbye.
Right.
Goodbye. Goodbye,
Mm-hmm.
lady.
Just
Goodbye,
like her
lady.
son. Problematic.
Ignorant.
What you were supposed to do was get on here and give the young people some advice, not get on here calling nobody out their name with your big ass. Okay, what's that movie that she was in and the motherfucker left her and had her flying by herself?
It was a movie girl.
Sheila, her name Sheila, Jill, whoever. Okay, that wasn't Blue. This new guy, blame it on him. Don't blame it on no kids half your fucking age. Okay, let me have to get on here again telling none of y'all grown ass bitches my son ain't got on here and lied to nobody about shit. And he
She's making
damn
me
sure
want to
ain't
get
had
on.
no fat bitch fly nowhere while
Mm.
he drive. Well, while he fly, while she drive.
He talking about a
Your
fucking
guilty
movie. She's
pleasure is
stupid.
fucking on them niggas, letting them spend up your money and get them coffee shops, and then blame it on some kids half your age. That's your guilty pleasure.
What?
Okay.
Mm-mm.
That bitch is crazy. First of all, why are you talking about a movie, a
A
character she
character.
played in a movie with your stupid ass? She's the first person that has made me want to get on social media, go to her page and cuss her out. You stupid. You stupid.
Ooh,
And quit calling him a kid. He is a grown ass man. He ain't no goddamn
mm.
kid.
We have a comment. We are witnessing mental illness. Well, yes.
Yes, we are. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
She done
Go ahead,
pissed
favorite
me off.
Taurus.
Carlissa is a fool, but does she not know that Jill Scott is an Aries? Exactly.
Listen,
And a
don't tell her nothing.
wordsmith. Mm.
Don't tell her nothing. She'll learn.
hmm And then talking about, was she really talking about the girl's role the whole time?
Like he left your big ass up there and had you drive.
And I'm like, is she talking about the movie for
And what's more sad to this is that if we go back and I'm pretty sure if we pulled a clip of what Jill Scott actually said, it wouldn't be anything close to what Mrs. Sappho or Miss Sappho was saying. So I just, you have to that's mental illness, and
real?
she gave birth to that, and that's mental illness. So I'm just going to let them live in their little world, child.
You're
If I
right.
were Jill, I wouldn't even respond. You get nothing else from me. Don't make me go call life.
Up there trying to get some coins off of Shaq. Talking about you almost messed with him. Girl, bye. I am sick of her and her son. They
And he
both
used a
need to go
code
to
name,
hell.
Donovan.
No, piece of she lying ass. You the only one lying. Lying on some teeny weeny penis. Girl,
Oh,
bye.
go ahead, favorite
Why?
Taurus.
Clarissa said, "You bet I mess with her man. I mean son. I mean man. I mean
Don't talk about my man. You talk about my man. Don't talk about my man. I mean, son.
the bitch is weird. I just had to say it."
She is. She is.
Yeah.
And how do you talk about somebody's role like it was the actual person? Like, girl!
Well, when we want to talk about black conversations, I think this is a part of a conversation, a bigger conversation about black mothers and their sons. And I'm a hush.
Listen,
Hello.
don't, girl,
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you see
baby.
the three black sons in the room. Three of the four black sons in the room said something, right? Okay.
Mm,
Listen.
mm, mm.
Ain't
That,
no way your son should be on your titty at 30.
But mine been off my, he got off mine. How many months was it? 8 months. And look, goodbye. Hello. Shit,
And look at the
boy.
comment. Apparently, it was a clickbait post. Girl, next story.
well, the next story we have is about Kiefer Sutherland, honey. What is you doing out there, honey, trying to order in your Uber Black? Threatened
Ain't
to
they mess
kill a
with,
man in an Uber Black, honey. And I have this link here from TMZ. And y'all should see where it says Kiefer Sutherland arrested for allegedly telling Uber driver, pull over or I'll kill you.
well, he said he had to say that for a reason. Not, don't tell me Kiefer. Oh Lord.
Well, let's see what happened. I have an idea of why he might have said it, but let's see what y'all think. So, Kiefer Sutherland was arrested for allegedly threatening an Uber driver who refused to pull over and let him out of the vehicle. TMZ has learned. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ Kiefer told police he was having dinner with a friend Sunday night. Late in the evening, he called for an Uber Black. The driver arrived. Kiefer jumped in, and they were on their way to Kiefer's home. For some reason during the drive, Kiefer told the driver to pull over and let him out. Kiefer told cops the driver refused, and Kiefer twice more asked the driver to pull over to no avail. At some point, according to the Uber driver, Kiefer threatened to kill him if he didn't pull over. The driver, who called 911, claims Kiefer assaulted the driver with his hands. As for what dispute triggered the confrontation, it could be a language barrier. Our law enforcement sources say when cops arrived, the Uber driver, who spoke Russian or Armenian, requested a translator. LAPD then called someone who spoke his language. We're told the driver never alleged an injury, but Kiefer was arrested for a felony, for making a criminal threat. He was released on a $50,000 bail.
Look, clearly he understood I'll kill you. He understood that part. Now you didn't understand when I said I want to get out and you not letting me out.
They gotta get them AirPods and Apple Intelligence screaming.
Look, like how? How did you know what he said if you don't speak English? I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm just never inclined to trust a person of Sutherland's I won't say background,
Well, they both
of the
are.
way that he looked. Well, yeah, they both are, but we also know that people like him, when they encounter foreigners, they get very aggressive. I'm pretty sure he was drinking at this person's house, and I'm making up. This is just, I just believe that the person, it probably was a language barrier, and because he didn't understand him, then you want to get belligerent and aggressive, and I'm pretty sure that's what happens. And now look where you are.
Well,
Congratulations.
Yeah, but also, I don't know. If I want to get out of an Uber and somebody tell me no, I might get belligerent too. I'm sorry.
But we don't know if they said no.
Well,
Well,
they
he
said
said,
he didn't pull over.
he said he asked him to twice to no avail, so we know that part.
Right, but we don't know if it was because of the language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the cops are alleging. And that could be it. And also, we see all the time when you have these uber black people and you have people getting these rides and they cancel the rides or they say, let me out here. And, and then other things happen. So I just really believe we don't know what truly happened. And, hey, we'll find out. This is definitely one I want to see what happens. But people like him, I'm just not inclined to believe their side of the story when it comes to foreigners because we know how they treat them anyway.
You was picking up what I was putting down, honey, right at the beginning before I started reading this. So I said, I'm going to see what y'all think after. And sure enough, because once they started bringing in the language barrier, they didn't happen to bring in a translator. I said, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I know what you are, Mr. Sutherland.
Now, I could be wrong.
But I don't know. I think I would be more inclined to believe that if they was of a different race. But I feel like white on white crime.
Yeah. Well, our last story that I have for us, honey, did y'all see, honey, baby, Drewski got the Saints pissed, honey.
Ooh.
I heard about it. Oh,
Out of them fish grease, honey.
Baby, they are livid, honey. They said, how dare you?
It was funny, though.
It was hilarious. And y'all see, I just shared here by way of vibe, Drewski's mega church skit goes viral and sparks debate. And boy, what a debate did it spark. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I mean, how dare Drewski call out their oppressors? I mean, leaders. I mean, oppressors. I mean, leaders. Oh, how dare you.
In the exact same outfit. That shit is hilarious.
Did y'all have a chance to see the skit?
I saw a clip.
I saw it.
I did it.
Of
course I saw that skit, child.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you watch mega churches and stuff like that, you saw the skit. It was very spot on.
He had the exact same outfit on. And I saw
the preacher that was pissed off about it, though, and said, fuck that fat bitch.
He said that verbatim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about
it. Well, then, you ain't holy no how. Look at you talking like that.
I mean,
Come
I
find,
would be
come find.
upset if Unfunny Drewski made a skit about me and it was actually funny and it mocks what I do for a daily living. I'd be upset too.
Drewski is
Well,
funny.
He
he
what?
said something about his outfit and his um his shoes being the blood of Christ. You know what I'm saying?
When he said I would, y'all asked me why I wear Christian Louboutin and Christian Dior, and he said
Because
because
I
I'm a
Yeah,
walk
Christian
in the
and
blood of Jesus.
I walk in the
there you go.
blood of Jesus. Now I did holler at that, and
That's famous.
That was hilarious.
Hollered.
I never laugh
Hollered.
at Drewski. He's never made me laugh until that.
It's a couple times he's made me chuckle, and it's when he's spot on his joking critique, and I'm like, okay, just like when he dressed up as them rednecks. Whew, I said, ooh, too damn
Mm-hmm.
spot on. Look, he looked just
Cause
like him.
you know the redneck skit, it got a lot of views for Drewski, but this one actually surpassed the redneck. So
It
cause
sure did.
it surpassed it. They really he really
Oh,
really
he
hit
kissed their ass.
He
he hit a
he
nerve.
embodied he embodied the people of the mega church. Yes, he did.
He
Mm.
did. He
He put the
absolutely
light up
did.
and showed their ass. Mm-hmm.
And this article says, although the clip has garnered over 200K comments in less than 24 hours on Instagram and received nearly 3 million likes, the satirical skit has struck a nerve amongst Christians and churchgoers who feel as though he's disrespecting Christianity and mocking God.
Oh my god.
Um,
Oh my god.
one
Did they
Twitter
say that
user
for real?
One Twitter user replied to Drewski's post saying, "You don't make jokes about God. It just shows how disrespectful and ungrateful you are. He is our creator and you ought to revere him, not deride him. You can't make a career from rubbishing God's name and what he stands for." On the other hand, many see the skit as a humorous portrayal of the common actions of pastors in today's mega churches. Pastor Lamore Miller Whitehead, anyone? Oops, shade. They said, keep in mind that if there wasn't even a little bit of truth to the skit, it wouldn't have people offended, commented one Instagram user.
Mm-hmm.
It's a skit that holds up a mirror to the nonsense we let run rampant. Laugh and then hold our fellow believers accountable. Points were made. Either way, Drewski blessed us all with some spot-on comic relief this week. So.
Mm-hmm. So he takes a jab at the mega church, and these motherfuckers want to say he talking about God. See, now this is where that whole conversation we had, they don't want to realize avoiding the how messed up y'all are over there, and y'all don't want to admit it, and so now y'all gonna say he's talking about God. No, he's talking about the preacher and y'all, not God.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to deflect. Hmm.
Go ahead, favorite
Y'all.
Taurus.
And Miranda touched on something I was hoping y'all caught too. You notice how these people who are criticizing unfunny Drewski is talking about him mocking God. So in turn, they are treating and seeing these religious leaders as gods, not the God
Mm-hmm.
itself, himself, however you want to call it. So I'm glad you pointed that out, Miranda. I was like, I wonder if y'all caught that as
Anytime,
well.
Charlotte. Anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
The problem is the people. We have allowed this behavior to run rampant. We have allowed these, and it's not just mega churches. We have allowed churches and religion
Mm.
Here you
itself
go.
run amok in our communities for a very long time. And then they wonder why they say, oh, you brainwashed, and I'm a believer, but I've had to go through a sort of reformation within myself about my worship experience and me going to church because these people, in the words of Kamala Harris, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
No, they really
indeed.
are. They really
And,
are.
and enough is enough. Enough is enough, and we've allowed it to go on too long. And instead of you looking at that and saying, dang, is that how they see us? You're trying to
Right.
defend it.
Mm-mm. And then talk about he is disrespecting God What was he saying about God? Wasn't he
I'm
talking
glad it's
about the
not the God
preacher?
I serve, baby. But y'all go ahead and have fun. That's why y'all look like fools now. That's why the pastor be up in there driving whatever they want to drive, living where they want to live, and you sitting up going
Living
to the
better
church
than
talking
y'all.
about you need $1 to pay your rent, child. Girl gone.
Look, I will never, I will never forget how them people started defending that Winans man for the way he talked to that woman about
Woo.
giving out of turn, getting in the wrong line, whatever. He was out of pocket, and for people to defend that, well, I was just trying to say that. No, you could have just took her money and kept going. It wasn't that big of a fucking deal which line she got into or didn't get into.
She the fool, cause that 1,000 plus $235, I would say, well, hand me that check back, hand me both checks back,
Look,
and you won't
okay,
get nothing.
look, and for her to defend him, but Auntie says every week, crystal fascism, and I'm like, yeah,
Y'all see her. And girl, I just learned something about the, what's it called? The seven, I'll get the name for it.
7
But,
Day Adventist.
no, it's called a
Mm.
7 mountain moving or some shit. I'll go
what?
get it, Matter of fact, go ahead, Moderna, while I go look for what this thing is.
Oh, I mean, I was fully agreeing with y'all. It's just the comprehension for me, honey. The people, they can't comprehend nothing. Because he sure enough wasn't making no jokes about God. He was making jokes about pastors.
Mm-mm.
And they were funny. I'm sorry. Drewski is not the funniest person. Y'all got that. But those jokes were hilarious and very spot on.
Yeah,
When he's
because that's
spot
what
on,
they
he's
do.
funny. He's funny. When he is spot on, it actually is funny. When he's just, just whatever. But he's of the culture now. I mean,
I mean, I was watching, I was on TikTok doom scrolling and looking at videos of people saying they went to these mega churches, and one guy was like he needed help paying his rent and how they just kind of left him in limbo. And I'm like, yeah, they do that because they don't care about you.
Okay. Because
They
these
don't give a
churches
damn
are
about
what?
you.
They're a business.
They
They're
are
a
a business.
business. They
A
are not a
Okay.
tax-free
place of
business at
worship.
that now the current administration now allows to influence elections now, which pisses
ugh,
me off. Girl, don't even get me started.
well, we got a corrupt administration. Like he's making it easier for all the crooks. We know that. Mm.
And the thing I was talking about is called the 7 mountain mandate. Baby, matter of fact, I'm gonna just go give y'all a little brief of what it was. So I just put it in Google. And it says the 7 mountain mandate, or known as the 7 is a Christian dominionist belief that followers must take influence over 7 societal pillars: religion, family, education, government, media, arts, entertainment, and business to transform culture and usher in Christ's return, rooted in prophetic word to evangelicals like Bill Bright and Lauren Cunningham, and prompted by the
Oh,
new right apostolic reformation. While originally framed for broad evangelism, it evolved to encourage strategic Christian impact, leading to calls for Christians to become leaders in these spheres to embed Christian values, though it draws criticism for perceived political extremism and calls for control.
and this is part of the KKK. This is the pastors and all those evangelicals who are rebranding the KKK wrapped in this Christianity. That's what they're doing right now. It's literally happening, unfolding right now.
Right in front of our eyes, and the black
Hmm.
church is playing a major part of it. A bunch of
Uh-huh.
fools.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
So I'm a little confused because I was under the impression or belief based upon what I've been reading forever, like the KKK is rooted in Christian ideology to begin with, right? Am I
Yes.
missing something? Okay.
But yes, but now they're cloaking that whole thing, like we're not the KKK. They are
Oh,
wholly embedded in the church, and they're not calling themselves. We just talked about it, but I saw the video too, where they changing the names, and these people are pastors, and they're driving everything through the church, like basically what we've been seeing, getting laws changed, getting their leader installed in the White House, and you know, so on and so forth. What we're living today, basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, child. Well, like I say it all the time, baby, when y'all ready to revolt, I'll be here. I'm not going to do it by myself.
Well, I don't know. We'll see if Minnesota is gonna be the launching point. I don't know. We might be on the precipice. Let's see what happens.
it's giving martial law, no shade. That is exactly what they want, is to
Bloop.
enforce that.
Mm.
Yeah.
What they swore up and down that Obama or Biden was gonna do. Child. Martial law. They're gonna do,
Hmm.
but it's okay when your guy do it. Okay, all right. Okay, glad I
Well, yes, sis.
know.
Duh.
It's so funny. Is there I keep saying this, is there a stronger word for hypocrisy? Cause I need it, cause they have war hypocrisy out, because I need something stronger. Ugh,
Trumpism. Trump.
ugh,
Just play on that.
ugh,
MAGA.
ugh.
Trash.
Trash, I like that. Yeah. But I mean, the hypocrisy is stupid. Like, it's just, like, you're making my brain hurt, because what?
Child. My brain been hurting since 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
We had a short 4 years of peace, knowing that we was not finna have no issues. We was just gonna ride along, and then them 4 short years, oh god.
Even
Wow.
then, like, I've been sick of Democrats and this let's play peaceful game. You just can't. And we've been lying down and taking it and taking it and taking it like Auntie for so long that
Now you didn't have to take all this a long way to take a dig
Well,
out.
now, hold on. Well, hold up.
I gotta whack my
Baby
girl
took
every
us
now and
on a
then.
Girl,
long walk
Auntie, you just
to
gonna sit
hit.
there and take it?
Yes,
You just gonna
yes,
take it, Auntie?
yes.
Come
Well, yes,
on.
like you ain't
You
about to be
see,
sitting
he's
there and taking
quiet
it.
because
Yeah.
he knows.
What I'm going to argue with the truth for?
BB took the longest walk, like la di da, and had that stick in his hand, and as
Stand
soon as he
up,
got
Auntie.
close to Auntie, whap.
Stand up, bitch. Stand up.
Well, according
No.
to BB, I do be standing up on some dick.
Well,
Oh.
hold on. Okay, you know what? Sit down.
You ain't making it no better, Madonna, honey, because, girl, sit down, stand up, either way, it's a good time for him.
Oops.
But no, at this point, I'm just honestly like, child, I, I just gotta take care of me for now.
Yeah.
But it is gonna take the people to rise up if we want change. And I think we talked about this, and I won't even go back into that, but it's going to take the people to rise up if we want change. And I don't think that will ever happen. On a,
Caucasians need to
on
rise up.
a, yes, we need the people who benefit from this sadistic society to rise up. And that would never happen because, much as they say that they're allies and they truly care, no, once their privilege is threatened, honey,
Well, and they had the nerve to try and co-op say her name. I said, look here, y'all
Mm-hmm.
tread lightly.
so, ooh, child.
But I must say, we had us some good discussions today. But y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us for now. So before we head out and get us some sleep, Did anybody have any tea that they want to share? Any tea that I might have missed?
I enjoyed this late night tea time.
Yes. I would say we might do it more often, but I don't know. I don't know. I like my shit during the day. I like to do my shit. I like to get my tea fresh in the day, hun, and not wait until the night for my tea. I'm not Arsenio Hall.
We understand. We don't want you to dip into your married man time to give us tea.
Wow. Wow.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, allegedly.
But yeah, I mean, 'cause the way I was gonna come to get the tea, and I was like, oh yeah, it's not till nighttime.
But we will be back at our regular time, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We'll be back at our regular time. We only did it that we tried, get something happen today, but it didn't work out that way. But hey, there's always next time. So,
Okay.
but
Well, I'll see y'all in 12 hours, loves.
yes.
Ready to cut right back on up.
And
But
thank you all for coming
I'm
in.
calling out of work tomorrow, so.
Oh, I know you didn't just say that on the recorded line.
Baby, they can hear it. What they gonna do? I got unlimited PTO, boo.
I know that's right.
Who gonna
Well,
text me, boo?
well, y'all, it is always a pleasure. Thanking you for taking time to, out of your busy day or busy evening in this case to come and sip tea with me. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
later. Bye.